Oh, I don't think we should talk. That ain't gonna stop it. Now, talk about this. Come on, why not? People might misunderstand. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that make.
Let's say hi to everybody. Hey, Helen. Hey, Peas. Hey, Outlaw. Outlaw, did you get your truck back on the road? Check my sound level. I don't want it to be too high. Oh, Helen, I love looking at all the fun stuff you can put in new houses. Hi, GMA. Hey, Laugh at Life. Oh, I'm glad you're here. Let me do this. Okay, so why won't it let me do it here? All right, that's really retarded. Maybe it'll let me do it from my iPad. It should let me do it from my computer. Ugh. Oh, there it goes. There you go. Wouldn't let me do it from my laptop, but lets me do it from my iPad. Makes no sense because it never lets me do anything from my iPad. So, how's everybody's Saturday going? Kids drove me freaking crazy. Nope, not yet, Outlaw. Wow. Ouch, that gotta hurt. Oh, the kids were just, I don't know. They were in the pool all day. They're just as loud and rambunctious as can be. Not good when you have a headache. Oh, you didn't do anything after life. I just wanted to make sure you had a wrench. Steve bet everybody to spend some money. Just joking. I will spend my own money for the upgrades I will have to have. I hear you. You go, girl. Get them all. And this is for your forever home, right? You don't plan on moving again? Do it. Yeah, we need to petition YouTube. We need different color wrenches. Because some nights you feel you got smurfed. Some nights you feel blue. Some nights you feel a little red. Some nights you feel a little pink, maybe a little yellow. Why can't we have multiple colors? I don't get it. Why does it always got to be the same boring ass color? I hate it. Oh, me too. I live with one every day, 24/7. I think I was 12 or 13 the last time I remember not having a headache. I have it morning, noon, and night, hence why I got my pump. But at least I could put my pump surgery off. I don't. Maybe I shouldn't. But the doctor said, "Oh no, we have till November 15th. It's batteries won't shut off before then." So he's letting me, because of just getting over COVID and it being in my chest, he's letting me go till the first week of October. I just dread having it done again. Last time wasn't a good time. But apparently Molly did a kick stream. Well, of course, that's where she streams from. And of course, she was ranting about how she's striking everybody, and she struck some channel. Didn't even know that. I don't know the channel. And then, of course, she brought me up, and I guess she said she was going to come for me for what? Molly, bring it, bring it, because you can bet if I ever did cover you, I've there used it to death. Trust and believe. And the last time I say anything about you, um, seeing as how you're banned, you're not even supposed to be on panels. It wasn't your channel, it was someone else's. So, okay. But I fair used it, so good luck with that. I'm not scared of you. You've threatened me before. I've had one for 9 years, and newest implant has made it even stronger. Been sitting in bed all day. Ooh, put up my banner so you can read it and weep. I do always forget my banner. Thank you. I always forget that. It is fair use, by the way. Covered under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Yeah. I have the little, somebody sent me the couple second clip, but she's screenshotting my name. Let me send it to, well, maybe I can bring it up on here without showing my whole Twitter. Let me see. I don't remember if I'm signed in, and I just changed my passwords again, and I got to find where I wrote them down. I don't trust it. Ever since that shit happened, I've been changing them like crazy. But I keep writing them down in this little tablet because I can't remember shit. And now I can't remember where I put the damn little tablet. So I give up. I give up. I don't. I mean, it's not. I don't think this Oops, nope. That's not what I wanted. This person don't mind because I mean, it's a stream from Kick, so she says she never heard of me, but months back, over the Dre McCrae stuff, when I first started doing videos, she sent me a message, which I screenshotted and probably still have, threatening to take me down before I even get started. 9 months later, here I am. But yeah, let me share screen. Oh shit, I probably should have did that first. I just didn't want to share my whole Twitter. That's just it. I don't want to share the whole Twitter stream. See, that's what it's going to do. I don't want to do that. All right. It probably already did. I don't care. No hate. Well, anyway, this is just a couple second part.
Okay. Hold on, let me screenshot. I never heard of this person.
Yeah, see, you have to really catch it. She's talking about me.
Kathy P. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on, let me screenshot. I never heard of this person.
Okay. Yeah, or liar, because you've threatened me before, and that's okay. You probably have threatened so many people you can't remember any damn way. But I'm not scared because guess what, Miles? I fair used it. You can't do nothing. Put your banner up so she can read it and oh my God, she really thinks I'm scared of her. She just pissed that she's got her own channel taken out. Yeah, I didn't have nothing to do with that. Hi, Phoenix. You have that video from Kick? Because she's always deleting everything. So, yeah, that would be cool. That's all I was sent was those couple seconds of it. But I know she had said about striking someone else too. I got timestamps. I wrote them down because I don't want to. I don't want to do this whole freaking video of bullhorns. Tired. Oh, tired of giving her the. It was. She's just regurgitating the same crap that she keeps regurgitating on these cases. I mean, I don't know how many times you have to go over the Alex Murdaugh, that there may be a reason for a new trial. I mean, how many times do you gotta read this shit? It's not gonna change. It's already filed. It's not gonna change. But she just, and then she's pushing her TikTok so damn hard. It's actually pushing people away from her because she's showing her damn TikTok videos on her YouTube. It's just like she's trying to force it down your throat. But I seen where there was I think it was it on Twitter? I'm gonna look. It might have been on Twitter or someone's video, but it showed where Betty is losing 100 subs at a clip and then immediately after that, gaining 100 subs in a clip. Sometimes the same day, most of the times the same day, or at least within 24 hours. Come on, what's the odds of losing 100 subs at one time? That's a lot at one time. And then turning right around minutes later to hours later, getting exactly 100 subs back. And it doesn't say, went up 10, 20, 50. No, 100 at a clip. I don't know. I was told, I don't know nothing about buying subs. I didn't even know you could do that, really. But I was, until YouTube, I was told that that's what people do. They buy them in clips of 100. And then when YouTube catches up to it, they delete them. And that's how they're deleted. So I don't know. But she does it a lot. Because she was down, and then she went back up, and then she goes back down, then she goes right back up. Yeah, and she could be the one to find them. Could you imagine? Could you imagine Betty being the one? Oh, nope. But I think she struck a channel, for something she was talking about and striking. I don't know. Okay, let me see where I started with my timestamps, because, and all she does is shove this damn TikTok shit. I mean, it's nauseating. But she claims all these views that she doesn't really get. And I'm pretty sure that was on Twitter. I'm going to look, as a matter of fact, where it shows Social Blade. It shows her subs. I'm pretty sure I've seen that on Twitter. I don't know why I didn't take a screenshot of it. Might have been somebody's posting, though, or somebody's video. And she still is proud about going on it against, that she's still going, arguing and fighting with, maybe it was Most Hated Troll, I think is the one that, I think. With this fight with, SF Investigates, she's jealous that somebody else might be able to get information that she couldn't. That's just my opinion. No. I can't. This internet's working. Nope, no result. What did I do? Oh. Say you don't know how to spell. Oh, I know why it's doing that. There it is. I think that's where I've seen it. I'm going to look. She's got 3.2K dislikes on a video. Wow. Oh, that was old, though. And I don't understand these people watching JLR and bragging about his... What? He's showing absolutely nothing. He's literally showing absolutely nothing. I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe it was a video I seen it in. And she's threatening to sue and sue and sue and sue and sue, and like she doesn't have enough going on. I'm trying to see where I saw that. Anyway, I'll remember where I saw it. It wasn't that long ago, so it should be right in here. No, see, it was before all that. I don't know, maybe it was in a video, but it'll come to me. I'll remember. But she gets on my nerves. Okay, let me get to the first time stamp here. First time stamp is... was it 11:25 or was it... But I think she really needs to leave SF Investigates alone. At least he's trained. I mean, what does she got? What does she got? Not a damn thing. She's not trained in nothing. Let me share screen. She's going to go out there and do this search, and it could end up very badly, and someone could end up hurt because they don't know what they're doing. They're not qualified to do a search. They have no kind of training.
And I have to be honest with you, this is just it just doesn't make sense to me. To me, it just doesn't make sense. So, I've been very cautious, and we've discussed, and I told you how concerning this motion for new trial is in the Alec Murdaugh case. I expressed that the information here to keep herself above board in this. That's what I learned.
Now you crack me up, Betty. You're all supporting this clerk of courts, but yet you totally attacked the DNA expert in the Kohlberg case. Why? You, who said you don't go after looks, totally went after looks, and you were just so intimidated by any female that's educated and has a real career, a real job. You saying she's not an expert means absolutely nothing. Because who the hell are you? You don't even have, you got a paid for press pass revoked. Just saying.
Over the last 24 hours. I also learned that this video here, I had a tad bit of information wrong when it was first coming out. I said that Eric Bland is representing the two that made that levied these allegations. There's three people.
I can tell you right now, Betty did misspeak as usual because she never does her research. Someone reached out to her. That is why Betty is correcting this, because Betty knows she opened her mouth and misinformed yet again, and this time someone called her out for it.
There's three affidavits here. I think
that's
two.
The only reason. Hey, Peace. I think I got you. But yeah, that is the only reason why Betty is saying anything about it. Hey, Lisa, good to see you.
From jurors, and one's from a husband of a juror.
This is her live from this morning. Okay, she's always saying about how the small channel she don't like, can't get viewers in. Well, I watched this morning, and I took some screenshots of Betty's chat so I could show you all the numbers. And I took them all throughout so that you could see that the numbers don't change. That I didn't. Okay, she had 69. The most she had in her chat this morning for a channel her size was 82. 82, Betty. For somebody who's got almost 25K subs. And it didn't stay at 82 for long, because it went right back down to 79, and it just kept going down. And I have all the screenshots. I'll be down to 57 that I'll be glad to show. But she's always hitting on Headstones, saying Headstones has over 200 people in most of her chats. Just talking about anything. Betty, you didn't even break 100. You didn't even break 100. You're a bigger channel. You should be breaking 100. If I ever get to that many subs, I sure hope I can. I mean, there's a channel that has a couple thousand subs that gets more views than you do. That gets more people in chat. But that's who you choose to go after. And it's your own doing. No, the 82 didn't last long, Lisa. It went right down quick. It went down to 79 and just kept going down until it leveled at 57 and stayed there. And I took screenshots going the whole way through so they,
that has the 3 restraining orders, I'm assuming is the egg lady, the infamous egg lady. So
my God.
and that was comical. I'm like, is she going to egg these people's cars? You know, what's going on here? You know, I just didn't, I had no clue.
And that's would be your go-to, to egg someone's cars. She said she didn't want to leave the fresh eggs behind. She wanted her eggs to eat them, Betty, if you'd have paid attention and listened. But of course, that's all you got out of all of it. Just like with your crotch crap, you know. That's legal beagle.
So now that I'm hearing even more information, even how she really went through all of the
Betty, you're not hearing more information. It's what's been out since this happened. You're regurgitating the same stuff over and over and over again. Your audience is over. If you're not doing that, you're shoving your TikTok videos down their throats, which she's going to do here in a minute.
processes that I know, being in county government, there are processes you have to go through.
You're not in county government, Betty. You're not. You stop. You're not in county government. You're not in any government. Did you run for office? Was you elected? I mean, because you go to a meeting about toilets and get up and cry for 3 minutes about how the county should buy you a roof? That don't qualify as being in county government, Bets. I know what it is. I almost forgot. You're live the other day when you drove down to Palmetto for no goddamn reason but try to get some content out of nothing. Remember, you said you had private meetings with a councilman and he told you all about the cartel being entwined in the county and behind all this body dumping that's not going on there that you claim's going on there because you claim someone told you that. Just like this mysterious councilman you have private meetings with that tells you deep, dark secrets of the county. Okay.
With certain boards too, and she went through, I can't remember the board he said she went through, but she did go through a board and got approved to write and release this book. And it appears to me that she wasn't the writer of this book. Remember, I told you one of the other concerns I had was, you know, this book came out really quickly
because you knew there was a ghostwriter.
This book came out very quickly.
Oh my God.
But
is there anybody in her chat really believing this crap? Betty, everybody knew it was a ghostwriter. It was no secret.
You know, he also stated that he's asked her all the questions under the sun and how they kind of met, how his wife went to one of the Murdaugh trials, hearings or whatever, stayed there a couple days and just happened to see Becky walking around and was able to get a selfie with her. And next thing you know, that the wife is hooking her husband up with her because she was wanting to write a coffee table book. And Becky's like, yeah, maybe I'll write a book too. And so this all kind of came out about that. So her intentions.
Listen to her. She's talking like she knows these people. And she was sitting there having this conversation with them. And a lot of it's just fluff she put into it. But she got it up watching the interview of the ghostwriter. And this is what she's putting out about it, making it seem like she's so in this and so involved and knows these people. Shut the hell up. She's just too much. Hey, Headstones. Thanks for coming in. It's good to see you. I hope your first week back to school went good.
There was even a few things where he's talking about the prayerful jury and how she couldn't pray with them. And that bodes well with what I'm hearing. And as I said, when I was reading these
here we go again.
Affidavits.
What do you mean? What are you hearing? You watched a freaking interview that everybody else has watched. Quit making it seem like you're getting deets from the inside because you're not. You're not a part of it. Bets, they don't know you exist. They don't care. And you're not having private combos with these people no more than you are the city councilman that told you about the cartel. Just saying.
David's, so far her behavior was not one that would be alarming to me. They're making it sound alarming because her having contact with the foreperson is the proper chain of command. So the foreperson would most likely say tell the bailiff, hey, bailiff, I need to speak to the clerk. The bailiff would, call the clerk. The clerk would have came in, and if that foreperson had some private information about what's going on behind the scenes or with the jury, maybe. And what I mean by that is if there's, if they're discussing the case, they're not.
Betty, when have you ever been a jury foreperson? Actually, when have you ever served on a jury? I got called for jury duty 3 times in the last 2 years. It's freaking crazy. Didn't go either time. But anyway, as soon as they find out I have a pump, they're like, nope. But anyway, Betty, Lord help us if you ever get jury duty.
They're not supposed to be discussing this case or deliberating this case until deliberation time. So if they're deliberating or having, conversations that might be cautioned against, it would be the responsibility of that foreperson to.
I've been chatting with Chloe. Oh, have you at Stones? That's great. It pisses me off how Betty's. Wait do you hear what she has to say about him today? This is her live from this morning.
To allow the clerk to know that. So far, even in the affidavits that we were reading, I wasn't getting all of these alarming with her behavior. Now, the allegations of what she may have said. Now, I have those I said were very problematic for me. But I also got an opportunity to listen.
Betty, in the very beginning, stop. Quit trying to twist it. You were all over this thinking you were going to get some big story out of it. And you were going to be able to slam somebody that was elected into office. Because I believe that is... Excuse me. I got to mute for a minute.
To Eric Bland. Eric Bland is now the attorney representing 2 of the many jurors.
Yeah. I truly believe you would give your left arm to be able to run for some kind of county office. Never going to happen. Well, you can run. I don't know that you'll even get enough votes or signatures to get on the ballot, but I truly believe that is like your ultimate goal. That's why you don't like anybody that is in one of these elected positions.
Not the 2 jurors. I want to make sure I'm clear on that because there was some just one little statement in that video that I didn't realize I misstated. Notice how when she gets called out for something, and you can bet the only reason Betty is even addressing this is Betty either was called out by one of the attorneys or somebody, just somebody with some clout in this case. Because, hey, Soflo, hey, Scorpio Sting, hi, Hills, how are you? I'll bet you Betty was reached out to because she misspoke in her video because she didn't bother to, and she didn't have to do much research. I mean, she's already got 50 million pages printed up about this. All she had to do was actually read them. And she misspoke about attorneys representing who. And I believe someone reached out, and that is the only reason she is correcting this. And if you notice, she's downplaying it. That one little tiny statement. Thought I was being accurate at the time, but further research, I realized it was not an accurate statement. So I wanted to make sure that's
further research. You didn't even read the papers you printed up.
Statement is clarified. Eric Bland is not representing the 2 people that levied the allegations against the clerk. He's representing 2 of the other jurors that were on the jury. So we want to make sure that that's clarified. Have a beautiful, blessed day, everyone. Off to work. Well, okay. God bless.
I'm sorry, but I've been watching Betty long enough to know that someone with some clout in this case, hey, Misha, reached out and made her correct her words. You got no response, headlines? Oh, did you see her numbers from today? I had to rub it in her face. I screenshotted her chat the whole way through so she couldn't say, well, that was at the end or something. Nope. The highest she got was 82, and that went down so fast. I mean, it didn't stay there but a couple minutes, and then ended up leveling off at 57. Yeah, me too, Peace.
Have a great yourself, and we'll be praying for you. We'll be praying for you.
Okay, I got another time.
So Miss Hill had frequent private conversations with four persons. So they said there may have been some things going on in the jury at that time that warranted those private conversations. But again, it's not normal nor customary. There are actually chains of command and procedures in place. So this type of stuff does not happen, i.e. that there's always a bailiff there. You keep the jury together. You're not hearing these jurors talking about her splitting juries apart and pulling juries out. And it's a little odd that these two jurors heard her say these remarks, but nobody else in that group or in the presence did. So again, I'm having a little...
How is that odd if she was talking just to them and not the whole room? Unfortunately, Betty, you don't know what went down. None of us do. We weren't there. We just have to wait until see it as it plays out. But you sitting here regurgitating this stuff hour after hour is nauseating. And you're actually waiting till today to finally read the stuff. That's even worse. You're called out because of the misinformation you put out. And then you get on here and downplay that. And that is the first time I've ever heard you correct. And the only reason I truly believe you corrected is because you knew you had to. You're putting on this big show right now. You've been doing it for like, I'd say the last two and a half weeks, trying to be so professional and make it look like you're out working and you're an investigative reporter. Not. And we all know what you're doing, Betty. But see, you can't do it after the fact. You can't put on the show after you file the frivolous lawsuit. You should have worried about doing all this before you filed the frivolous lawsuit, because it's actually not going to prove anything other than, if you're out here tramping all over the place making money, then hot damn, you can show up at court. So, you might be biting your own foot off. Just saying. Just trying to give you a little tip. You don't take it.
Little bit of problems with this is I'm assuming one of these people or one of the people that may have potentially been removed. We're going to get into the affidavits today, but first I just want to say good morning to everybody. But that is our intro into what we are going to be discussing today on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Wait, I see something, Misha. JLR had Penn State a trooper in chat with him answering questions. Trust and believe. I'm from PA. I know how the state police are. That's not going to go over well with his superiors. But I just don't get people watching JLR's show and nothing, absolutely nothing, for hours and hours.
Also, if you are a TikToker or have a TikTok account, consider going over and subscribing to Bullhorn Betty over on TikTok. We do provide short videos and short clips every single day over on TikTok. Those are also sometimes coupled over here.
They do, Hills? I hope so. But here she is pushing. She's like forcing her TikTok down her subs' throats. It's disgusting. If she's not showing videos, she's talking about it. But she doesn't tell people. She doesn't really get all the views she claims. And I didn't know this. In fact, I learned it from Headstones. I've learned everything about TikTok from Headstones. Go watch Headlines and Headstones. She's got a great channel. But she always shows you how, the TikTok works. And I didn't know you don't actually even have to watch the video to get a like, to get a view on it or a view. All you got to do is scroll past. It's like, that's insane.
A few of those, I think I'm going to be modifying what I do just a tiny bit. So I'm going to keep my smaller videos over on TikTok. I'm not sure how I'll bring some of the important ones over and post those over here, but not everything, because I don't want to be taking everything from TikTok and bringing it over to YouTube and vice versa.
But basically, that's what you're doing. It's annoying. I mean, they're even your intro and outro now.
Well, I can't do that from YouTube to TikTok because you just don't have the time over there on TikTok. But the longer videos are only going to be presented here on YouTube. So I just want to make sure that we're clarifying on what kind of, where.
Yeah, I noticed that. She had that on as soon as she got up this morning and got in front of the camera. Her linear, yeah. Is she paying for another press? I want to be press badge because those, hey, Okie Crime News, those paid for where you pay dues, it's not a legitimate press pass. It doesn't give you press credentials and it doesn't get you into anything. Yeah, that would be
so really the short videos, the 3 minutes or less videos will be on TikTok.
All right,
the 3 or more videos will be here. And then of course, all my live broadcasts are here on YouTube. So if you're already on TikTok, might as well come hang out with me, right? Might as well. So we always here on the Bullhorn Betty channel discuss the language of letting go. This is something that helped me many takes time. And it takes.
Okay, where's my other timestamp? I don't want to watch. She goes into so much stuff. Boring. Oh, she's going to go into Layla again. Wait, did I miss it? No, I couldn't have. Maybe I did. All right, let's see. Let's see where we're at.
It takes effort, especially when you're changing and tackling big issues. We all
bats. You need a book called The Language of Not Letting Go, because you don't let go of nothing. And you might feel better if you did.
Have some big issues that present to us every single day. How do we tackle those?
Don't know.
We can often get exactly the help we need at times from a therapist, book, or seminar. The best thing in life really are free and available to each one of us. The 12 steps, again, qualify in this area. Discover what works for you. Trust that you'll be guided along your path and receive exactly the help and guidance you need. Then give it time.
All right,
there really isn't an easier, softer. That's my suggestion. 6 foot high fence. Boop. Don't talk to me. I don't care what you're doing over there. Just stay away from me. Hates me. I'm on here now. I am very cautious when it comes to it. Maybe because I did all the legwork for the attorneys or whatnot. I've seen some prominent attorneys.
Want to back this up.
Really happens over.
Okay, I have looked and looked and looked, and I know Burnt Toast has looked, and if it's findable, it'd have been found. She's going to claim here that for 10 years she worked in the legal practice. You can bring him out this way. And that she did all the legwork for these attorneys, and this one attorney became a big judge. I can't find anything where she worked for an attorney that became a big judge. I've looked and looked.
Overnight or in 5 days. Even the 12 steps are only suggestions and guidance you need. Then give it time. She kind of loses me because she talks really slow and it's not an exciting thing. It was not appealing to watch. Okay. It really wasn't. It wasn't appealing to watch for me. In all fairness, I kind of believe the law is, it can be entertaining and fun and interesting and really make.
She's talking about the attorneys on YouTube, the females. And we all know who she's talking about. And of course, it's somebody who's educated and who has a real career, and Betty don't like it. That hairline is becoming a vacant lot. Hey, Julie Porter.
You think outside the box, really utilize a lot of your brain and problem solving. And so and there's something new in it almost every day. It's not the same type of arguments. It's not the same type of cases. Law I love the law. I love the law. I just was very cautious about her because I've dealt with so many people, and I know that, especially attorneys, and we deal with so much money, even paralegal, we deal with so much money.
Betty, your experience with attorneys is being the defendant. How many arrests do you have? Just say it. What do you mean you deal with so much money? Receipts, please. Receipts, please.
You know, we deal with a lot of money.
And honestly, there's usually in a big law firm an accounting office, at least a couple people that handle the books. That's who deals with the money, not the paralegals, Betty. At least the law practice that I retained, they had an accounting department. They had several people in their accounting department. That's where all the money went, the head honcho, the head accountant, that's who handled the money, Bet. The paralegal never handed me a check, and nor did I ever hand them one. Just, but that's just my experience.
We deal with cash. We deal with certified checks. We deal with all
no, you don't. And bullshit. Because, yeah, that was a long time ago, but just recently, I had to go to a family law attorney for the adoption. Guess what? We didn't pay the paralegal either. Nope. Didn't hand the paralegal one dime, Betty. So I don't know what law firms you work for. She thinks she's got a gotcha moment rooting for this woman who clearly, according to EBD's opinion, has engaged in fuckery. EBD thinks that Alex M will get a new trial. Yeah, he may get a new trial. Oh, chocolate sounds good, but it's not good for my diet, but it sounds good. Damn, she's an accountant now? Yeah, she does. Apparently, this law practice that she worked at, that this lawyer became this big time judge, apparently the paralegals did it all. There was just no one else but her. And she did it all. She doesn't pay lawyers, that's for sure. Yeah, that's true.
A host of a lot of money, and the clerk of all people is basically running the county. I mean, she's the one the county commissioners have to come to get that check signed. Yes, the clerk. She's dealing with all the county finances there. All the county finances. So you're talking.
Is that why you're intimidated by her? Is that why you keep flip-flopping on this stuff going on concerning her, Betty? Because in the beginning, you sure wasn't on her side. Intimidated, aren't you?
About a woman that has already been trusted with millions and millions of dollars. Pro Charlotte Luke, nice to see you. Nice to see you. I'm currently dealing with a neighbor from hell. Yeah. Sometimes it's just easier to put up a fence, like literally to the freaking. Sometimes it's just that easy. Sometimes you just need a barrier, right? You probably already have a fence. I don't know, but that's my suggestion.
Is that what your neighbors have done? Is that why you ripped down your fence because they put up one even higher? Just asking. You give bad advice. You going to pay for that fence? I know. You'll have them go to a city council meeting that's about toilets and get on there for 3 minutes and cry that they need a fence like you cried you needed a roof and the county should have paid for it, right? Gotcha.
6-foot high fence. Boop. Don't talk to me. I don't care what you're doing over there. Just stay away from me. Right? But again, clerk, millions of dollars. Handles millions of dollars almost on a daily, weekly basis. Millions and millions of county dollars that run through her office that she's accountable for. If she was this sleazeball person that was all about money, she would know how to doctor the books and
Did the judge rule on the motion for the Zoom hearing, or does she need to be in it on the 14th? I believe the first hearing, which was about the protection order or restraining order she filed for, I believe that one is going to be a Zoom. I haven't heard anything yet about anything further, but I think I've read in all the paperwork that's going to be a Zoom. And I don't think that was because of her. It may be, but I thought, yeah. Hey, Cass. Good, yeah. Betty, you keep talking about this paralegal work you did. And you worked in a major law firm for attorneys. And one became a judge. But we can't find no proof of this. You've never showed any receipts. The only thing I knew of you doing, Betty, when you were supposedly a paralegal, which you say you don't break the law, but you were working in a mortgage fraud business, Betty. You were actually creating fake W-2s and stuff. Remember that, Betty? Miss Law Abiding Citizen, Miss I Never Break the Law, Miss Paralegal. And there's proof of that, Betty. Proof of it. We can't find proof of the other stuff you claim. But this you don't claim. But we found the proof anyway.
And extort that money. She doesn't need to do it this way. I mean, there's just a whole host of things that never made sense to me with her being, pointed at and stuff like that. And why is it only 2 jurors out of 18? And they're not saying that she specifically spoke. Well, maybe they did say that she specifically spoke to them. Let's hear what it says.
Oh my God.
We got juror.
Gonna read these again.
Affidavit A, which is juror 6.
Are you really gonna read this stuff again? No, we're gonna fast forward. Because I've already went over you reading this stuff previously. All this effort you're putting in there. Have you responded to your court case yet, Betty? There was things you needed to respond to that you needed to answer, like the bill of particulars. Just asking. I mean, you've got all this time on your hands to regurgitate this same thing that you've been talking about since it came out. And who are you kidding? You want him to get a new trial. So you have content. Are you nuts? We're not stupid. This is what you're praying for.
30. She also instructed the jury to watch him closely. So let's see here.
Okay.
So in this affidavit,
I'm going to fast forward, guys, because if I don't, she'll drive me crazy. She's read this stuff so many times. Let's see. It should be right in here where I want to pick up next.
But the defense, in my opinion, they're liars. They don't care. They're just doing whatever they can for their client, and that's their job. Their job is not to worry.
Wait a minute. So you're saying that they're all liars, and that's their job. Do you know what happens to a lawyer if they get caught filing false paperwork, lying, and do you know what'll happen to them, Betty? Do you really think they're going to risk their career? Just saying. I mean, I don't know what went on here. We don't know until it gets handled by the judge. Until there's, but you want this to cause a new trial. And you do. And in the beginning, you weren't on the clerk of court side so much. I mean, you do kind of flip-flop. Just
about defamation suits. Their job's not to worry about, this. Their job is to protect the interest of the defendant, and that's what they're doing. So they're not doing their job. I just think they're getting themselves in a pickle to begin with, and they're trying to boot Judge Newman as well in this effort and campaign. I don't know if it's going to go anywhere, because if you have 2 people saying that the clerk told the jury, then everybody should have heard her. Everybody.
Hey, Angel.
Everybody should have heard her. Now that this is kind of exploded, everybody knows if she did do that, she was wrong in doing so. And then now they would be coming forward and saying, you're right, I did hear the clerk say that. You're right, I did hear the clerk say this. You're right, I heard the clerk say this. But you don't have that. You have only two. And I'm pretty sure we had
nothing else has been released about this yet, right? That I haven't found any. I haven't seen anything. Headstones, if you're still in here, you'd know. Have they? No, I'm not muted. I don't think. No, I'm not muted. You guys can't hear me? Crazy Nurse, have they said anything further about this, released any more information to see if it was more than just those two jurors? I mean, I don't know if everything's been released to the public, but um, she's crazy getting on here attacking the defense team. You didn't follow Murdaugh? Okay.
18. I'm almost positive. Maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. But if I remember correctly, when we set this up, we knew it was going to be a really long trial. And Judge Newman, because of, we are coming off, the COVID, people still are getting sick and whatnot. I remember him being very cautious and saying, I want to have more alternates because people may get sick as this trial, goes on and on and on. It may be required for them to be, for us to if people have to get back to work. So they had the 6 alternates. I'm almost positive they had 6 alternates.
Yeah, I know she did. I like Emily D. Baker. That's who Betty was talking about. She was putting down the female law YouTube attorneys. And I knew Emily had just covered this a couple days ago. And I knew exactly that's who she was talking about. And she's so jealous and intimidated by Emily D. Baker.
12 main jurors and 6 alternates. That would be 18. Nope. That'd be 16 individuals. 12. Nope. 12 plus 6. It's 18. Yes. So 18 individuals. So out of 18 individuals, you've only...
Betty, how old are you? And it took you that long to add that? My 3rd grader could have added that in a second. What the hell? Math was not your strong suit, I take it. I mean, even your basic suit.
Only got 2 that have come forward. What percentage of the total body is that? So 11.
Yeah, in the beginning, the first part of the clip I showed, she was saying how boring she is to listen to and to watch. I haven't looked at any of this yet, but I'm concerned about the optics. Oh, okay. But yeah, and she was making fun of the female law tubers, and I knew that Emily did a live on this. I watched part of it. I didn't get to finish it yet. And I like Mystery Maven too. I like them both a lot. But she's clearly jealous of them. She is. She wouldn't say Emily D. Baker. She wouldn't say her name, but I knew that's exactly who she was talking about. She was talking about the YouTube lawyer that just reviewed this. Hey, blank screen.
Right, 11%. Did I do that right? I think it's 11%.
Oh, jeez.
Of the jury. It doesn't even qualify as a 0.25% of the jury. 1/4. This is just above 1/10 of the jury pool is saying that these allegations. 2 people are saying these allegations. But what I have a problem with is now that we're reviewing this and diving into it a lot deeper, the issue I have is in their statement, they're advising that she told the entire jury body this. And if she told the entire jury body this, I would assume that there would be a lot more jurors that come forward and sign affidavits to that effect. Just my thought. Just my thought.
Okay, well, your thoughts, you have no idea, Betty. There could be other affidavits given to the judge just because you don't know about them. And what do you mean diving deeper? You've had this, there's nothing different on this info. You've had it since it came out. So there's nothing new. It's the same stuff you keep regurgitating. Just stand up and admit you want there to be a new trial so you have contact. It's that simple. Do I think you really support this clerk? Hell to the no. Hell to the no. You'll flip on her like you do everybody else.
Dr. Lewis was extremely confident. I think you are just trying to make me laugh at this point. And yes, I guess you are. You got me to laugh. Okay. Yes. Very competent lady that expert was. I think that expert did no justice. No justice.
What, Betty? Are we gonna go back? Oh, I'm gonna touch base on you with your expert stuff. But I have a question for you. Who the hell are you to determine if anybody's an expert, Betty? You know jack shit about DNA. As a matter of fact, I was reviewing when you're out gallivanting around faking like you're doing something lives. You didn't even understand the DNA you were talking about in the Kohlberger case. I Googled it in 2 seconds and read the exact description out to you, and you still didn't get it. You still was wrong. But you're going to say that you can say that this woman is not an expert? And where did you get your training and experience and education in DNA? I'll wait. But we'll get back to that because I got something for you there.
They put in their own money. Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing. They haven't made a dime off of this. This is not a contract. That's another misconception that's coming out of Camp Murdaugh. They said it was for a book deal. There is no book deal. There is no book deal. Her and Neil Gordon put together $15,000 from the clerk, $15,000 from Neil, wrote a book and self-published this book. This book has not made any money. There's no guarantee that this book will make one dime. They may have just put a match to $15,000 and burnt it, to be honest with you. We don't know, but they put their own money in. There is no book deal. So there's lie number one from Camp Murdaugh that can be easily proven. That's lie number one. So far.
200? No, she only had max 82 in her chat today, blank screen. But that was only for a couple minutes and went down. It kept going down, then settled at 57. But yeah, I don't get that watching the JR.
The only camp that's lying and that we have proof of lying.
I'm sorry, but what is there to watch? He's showing you the road and some cars. Nothing else. I don't get it. But at least he's not bothering the family yet. Just wait, because he will. He'll be doing background checks and criminal reports on anybody connected to him. Just give him a minute.
Is Alec Murdaugh and his defense. Literally. That's what we have. I mean, it's not the most ideal situation. I can honestly say that, but we know that their camp lies. We know that they lie. We know that they're going to continue to lie.
Okay.
So I'm just a little...
Okay. Betty, so now you're calling the defense attorneys liars. Do you have proof of that? Do you have receipts? Because they may want to see it. I don't think you're being very smart defaming attorneys, Betty. You know, they don't need to pay an attorney to come after you. They can do it themselves. Might want to chill out. You don't need another lawsuit going on right now. You know, you have a habit of defaming people. It's not a good look. Does anybody think that that dude's still out there? Or do you think that he got out of their perimeter? I mean, how many days has it been now? JLR's missing blinks. Oh my God, I love it.
Concerned, you know, if they lie, then why are we now believing what they're saying now? Why are we believing what they're saying now? It's hard for me to believe. It really is. And I'm going to play this again until you guys get sick of it. I'm playing it again so you guys can hear what's going on.
Are you fearful for your life if you believe the killer out there?
Absolutely. But
State versus
Lies.
Richard Alexander.
All lies.
Indictment for murder.
did you lie to Agent Owen and Agent Croft?
I did lie to them.
Guilty. Verdict.
I just found a tool to skyrocket your YouTube Shorts views. YouTube Shorts are fire.
That was Alex lying, not his attorneys. If that was her evidence. Oh, here she goes with
Phenomenon that I'm seeing with
this is what I mean. She's shoving these TikToks down her audience's throat. The cop said he was spotted in the area yesterday. I hope they get him before anybody gets hurt. I really do. mean, that's just a whole mess. JLR would shit himself if that guy came up to him or if he wandered up on that guy. No. Oh my God. Oh. Or Dolly. Dolly wouldn't even know. He'd pass out. They wouldn't know what to do. Literally, Davis Farm.
Is he completely in denial? Or
Oh my
does he
gosh.
truly believe that somebody's out there? I'm sorry, but I'm not convinced. Check this out. Are you fearful for your life if you believe the
All
killer
right.
out there?
You've got nobody supporting this claim. And my suggestion to juror 630 is you also get yourself a damn good attorney, because you might get in you might be on the hook for some of this stuff. If this is incorrect or you misrepresented facts, you're dealing with a state attorney. Like, they're going to, if they find impropriety in this statement under oath in a double murder trial, you might be on the hook for some kind of perjury.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me right now? Betty, you just filed pages and pages and pages upon pages of fraudulent crap with a court. And you're going to sit here and give somebody else advice about getting an attorney and about perjury? What about... You're in another dimension.
Want to just not to intimidate anybody. I just want to make sure that this is accurate, because to me it doesn't sound like other jurors are in agreement with these statements that they were told by the clerk. Now the bailiff would have been in that room with them. So now you have two people, one that is an officer of the law, literally an officer. A bailiff is an officer of the law. You've got an appointed official there. Somebody would have heard something. And I don't understand why all of a sudden, in all these years of service this clerk has had to this county, this would be the case that she tips the scale on. This was a slam dunk case, in my opinion. This was, I don't ever say slam dunk case, how I feel about it. But when the information...
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you have. Don't care how you feel about it. I'm going to fast forward through you.
Came out, it was a no-brainer. The man lied about everything, and he got caught with his pants down. There's nobody that lives out there. I mean, I can show you video after video. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll prepare video of Alec Murdaugh. I was just there, just when I was doing Layla Santinello. We went over to Layla Santinello, Maryland. We went to South Carolina. So we went to all the spots again in South Carolina. We revisited Stephen Smith's, where he lost his life. We went to Mallory Beach's gravesite.
Why though? Why? Why would you? Why would you even go back and do that stuff? I know, content, Betty. You weren't there because you cared about anybody. You weren't there because you cared about anything in any of these cases. You were there simply for yourself because you're desperate for content. Why? What is the purpose of showing this stuff? It proves nothing. It's not informative. What other purpose is there, Betty?
Went to the Moselle property. There was just a laundry list of places that we went in South Carolina. So we do have fresh, new, how it looks today.
Okay, it's not fresh and new. And who gives a shit how it looks today? What? That's the best you could do for content?
Content from there. So maybe I will put that up, because I walking up and down that road. Nobody's there. There's hardly anybody that passes me. I've been there several times, and there's hardly anybody in that area, anybody on that road. So who the heck was there? There was only 3 people there that night. 2 of them are dead. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what happened. Mallory.
Well, Bets, you're so right, because that's one thing you're definitely not. You are not a rocket scientist. And if there was only 3 people there, and only one person alive out of the 3 people, who do you think knows what really went down? Just saying, Bets. I mean, it's really, like you said, not rocket science. Do you really think he's going to confess and tell everybody? Would you? I mean, you haven't owned yet running down the street with no pants on and getting arrested. Just saying.
Beach's camp is not going to go in and unalive these people because they would have already what she did. Look at them. Come on. They would have never have jeopardized that lawsuit. Let's be honest. Nobody in their right mind would have jeopardized a financial windfall lawsuit against the Murdaugh family. Nobody. They would have at least waited until after the judgment and then decided to do, let's be honest. They're not going to jeopardize millions and millions of dollars.
Look at her. Look at her.
No.
She's drooling. Betty, you would pray for a lawsuit like that to fall in your lap. Just saying.
Nobody would do that. And her family and parents seem like they're very reputable people. So I don't see them getting down like that. I just don't. So this juror 30 says that, all these things are happening. The 4-person juror 826 criticized the former 4-person blank juror 589 for handing Mr. Murdaugh a box of tissue. Now, she may not have, there may be policies and procedures within that courthouse that absolutely prevent that from happening. We don't know. Now, we don't even know if this allegation is true, but if true,
then why
what could excuse?
Why have you been talking about it all for days when you don't know? That's just it. You don't know nothing, but you won't shut up about it.
Be some rules that there is no contact, that the jury can't have contact with the defense, the defendant, or the state, that they have to be totally removed from them in order to provide
I don't know about you, Betty, but I doubt you've ever served on a jury. But, normally the jury's not allowed to have any contact with the defendant. I'm just saying. Or even the plaintiff, the jury's just not allowed to have contact with any of them. That's not breaking news either, Bets. I'm going to fast forward you, Betty, because you're boring.
A fair and unbiased verdict. It might be a cardinal rule inside. I don't know.
A cardinal rule.
But there could be a reasonable explanation for this. And everything that they said about how they go and have private conversations, it's not with any other person that I can see in this affidavit other than the 4-person. That would be the right chain of command. There's an issue. It's sent to the 4-person. The 4-person tells the bailiff. The bailiff goes gets the clerk. The clerk has a private conversation with the 4-person. She probably, depending on what the situation is, may say, "Hey, I need to speak to the judge. Don't repeat anything that we've discussed."
Right, yeah.
And goes to the judge and talks to the judge about it. That to me is proper chain of command. That is proper chain of command. So far, outside of the fact that Exhibit A, Juror 630, says that the clerk, Rebecca Hill.
Can you imagine the paper she wastes? And the ink? No wonder she's got it on her wish list. Hey, Soper King. Okay, I'm fast forwarding because she's boring me. I want to get to the good part. There's a couple good parts.
Officer of the clerk court or not, I don't care. Dick Hart-Pullian knows how to squeeze himself out of slimy situations, and so does Jim Griffin. So I don't trust them. So here we've got
Betty, you act like you know these people. You probably never heard of them before this case. Oh my God.
This is saying at a August 6th meeting.
What's the time?
A meeting on August 6th. Blank indicated she would sign an affidavit. However, we were unable to arrange with her a suitable time and place. You You said you met with her. Why couldn't you just meet with her again? Sounds like she was giving you the runaround. That's what I'm saying. You know, since August 6th, it's September 9th. You didn't even file this for 30 days. You couldn't go to her job. You couldn't meet her at McDonald's. You couldn't meet her at the sport park and get her there. I mean, every person in a law office typically has a notary license. Just saying. You could have brought Holly Miller out there with you and had her notarize the document. This doesn't make sense. Okay.
Well, you just got it all figured out, don't you, Betty? If everybody would just listen to you and do things your way, wow, that's a scary thought. What would be the outcome? That's a scary thought. Because you don't even take your own advice. You give bad legal advice, Betty.
To a normal person, not being able to get in contact to get an affidavit, somebody that you already previously met with, I have a problem with that as a legal professional. I have a problem with that. Testimony. Blank recalled, blank. Just because she's an elected official doesn't mean that she doesn't have the rights as a citizen like the rest of us do. The case is over. She has a right to discuss it, just like the jury has the right to discuss it. Everybody, after the verdict is read, can now discuss the case. But did she violate her oath of office in doing so? According to her ghostwriter, she did not. And we know how desperate Camp Murdaugh is.
You do?
So I am out here wanting to make sure.
Betty, who is we? I know you've answered it probably, but it is just really annoying as hell. Quit saying we. Because I don't know anybody that ever agrees with you.
Sure that the truth is out there, that so far I'm on Exhibit D, halfway through this, and nothing other than the statements made by the clerk, which are still, there's no proof of those statements. None.
Oh, look at her face.
Now, if we had 6 jurors come forward and say, yeah, I heard her say that, I have a problem. But so far, you have 2 of 18. 2.
That has been put out in these documents, but you have no idea what else has been going on. Because guess what, Bets? You're not part of the case. They don't have to tell you nothing. Just saying.
And I hope the people that gave you these affidavits go and consult counsel immediately. Their own counsel. And stay away from Jim Griffin and Dick Hartpoolian. Get your own counsel, not Murdaugh's counsel.
I don't think they could use Murdaugh's counsel because, you know, that would be a conflict. They were on the jury that convicted him, so I doubt they can represent them. Just saying, Bet. I mean, that's pretty common sense, you know. You really need to take your own advice and get yourself a lawyer. You might want to use one of them dudes you're talking about. You're going to need it.
I'm just going to read this the entire attachment, and we're going to see if we see or hear anything that would be alarming to us. They've attached this to their motion for new trial. So hopefully, if she did anything damaging, it would be here. Professional, and we bonded over a cancer diagnosis that both of our families had endured. That was an incomplete sentence. It was page 92 of this Behind the Doors of Justice. While Dateline producers were in town for the trial in February 2023, they asked for Judge Newman's cell phone number, which I was given permission to provide them. Then Craig reached out to Judge Newman to reconnect. Craig grew up in Columbia, South Carolina, where his family and Judge Newman's family knew each other.
Okay.
And
I'm going to fast forward again. I'm sorry, but she gets...
to New York City. As I mentioned earlier, Craig Melvin, their 30 Rock, where Dateline taped some of its segments. What stuck out to me was one of the jurors mentioned to a producer that she was craving pizza and cheesecakes. And the next thing you know, both were delivered in time for lunch. This trip was extra special for me because it was my first following Judge Newman's rules and so on. For example, she caught a new visitor in the courtroom who was sitting directly. Your phone service, PI, help you.
Okay, here we go.
Back to Tennessee, we are going to be getting some flyers. Remember that whole thing. So, you know, juries are supposed to be cognizant of what's going on in the trial, not what's going on the outside. That's for everybody else to observe. That's not for the jury.
Sorry, guys. Next time I'll just clip the sections I should have today.
Jury to be observing. But again, this could explain some of the conversations, private conversations with the foreperson, especially if this foreperson realizes this person's not paying attention. They're more worried about somebody following the rules or not and not paying attention to the actual trial. Then, yeah, the foreperson may go up and say, hey, I need to speak to the clerk. The bailiff.
Betty, you would be a freaking nightmare on a jury. You really would be. I don't know how long you'd last because I think the judge would boot your ass. But that's just my opinion. I think the judge would boot you. I really do. But I want you to get into talking about what you're going to talk about. And then we're going to the end because she rants at the end like you're not going to believe.
And not paying attention to the actual trial. Then, yeah, the foreperson may go up and say, hey, I need to speak to the clerk. I got 45 minutes to kind of button this up, but it looks like this is going to be ongoing because I really want to dive into this very thoroughly because, again, it's a woman's reputation on the lines for the likes of somebody like Alec Murdaugh. And I just, in my good heart, I can't just sit by and let that happen. I really just can't. I think this is a travesty all the way around. I think she's a scapegoat, and I feel really bad. Any updates on Layla Santinello? I'm glad you asked. So
wait,
let me just
before we move on to that, wait, she just said a whole mouthful. Betty, what? I'm not going to, no, I'll just play it because if I say what I'm going to say, you're going to have a fit. No. Okay. Zip it, Kath. Time not to. Okay.
Let me just step away from Alec Murdaugh for just a quick second. Yes, there's going to be some updates.
I can't. Look, how much of a deeper dive can you do, Betty? You can't put words on the paper. You can't add pages. You done deep dives, chewed up, spit out, ran around 4 or 5 times over these papers. What the hell? You've showed every little interview there is that you could find. What? What else can you deep dive in? Are you going to show a bunch more of your TikToks?
Going back to Tennessee, we are going to be getting some flyers together. We're going to be passing around information, but we're going to be doing a search party in Tennessee on September 17th. So September 17th is my birthday.
Okay. Yeah, we know. You've been grifting for your birthday for the last month. I know. Every live you mention it. I know. Unfortunately, we got to share the same birthday month. That sucks. Look. Are you doing a legit search? Who do you have that is trained and certified to run this search? Because you're not. You have no training, no certification whatsoever. Are you coordinating this with law enforcement? You know, why don't you use some real educated, trained, and experienced searchers like, you know, EquiSearch? There's groups like that everywhere that are really trained to know what they're doing, Betty. You're going to get people to go down there and muck up a case that is active and open and still very much being worked. You could really mess this up like you often do. Stay the hell out of it. That's the best thing you can do. You're taking a chance of someone getting hurt. You don't know what you're doing. and you're going into an area that's not safe. It's nothing but about content for you. And if you actually do this, all you're going to do is stream it anyway, because that's all it's about.
Last year for my birthday, I was working and trying to help locate information related to Michael Vaughn.
Oh,
This
yeah,
year
we
for my
know.
birthday, I'm going to be searching for Layla Santinello. And so we're going to be.
You're going to be doing content, streaming live, grifting for your birthday. That's what you're going to be doing. If you're going there to search, a real search, you would coordinate it with multiple agencies. You would have real certified, trained, and educated searchers there. And
be having a search party. It's I think the way we're going to design it is we're all going to probably meet. There's like a strip. I've still got to coordinate some areas. I think we're going to try to have, if depending on how many people show up, you never can gauge these things. We haven't really started pushing it. This is the first time that we are even bringing up a date at this moment. But it will be September.
You were so full of crap. You have been pushing this for the last week. What are you talking about? You've been thrown out from the 14th to the 17th for the past week. Do these people sleep while they're watching you that they believe this crap that you're saying? I'm just wondering if it's somebody else putting this search on, Betty, and you're inserting yourself. I'm just wondering.
September 17th. We will be out there.
But on a better note, wouldn't the content of her coming face to face with At Best Investigates be delicious? Oh my God, it would be gold. It would be gold. I hope she does try and search and gets herself arrested for interfering. I don't know, but I can see how that could happen. Be careful listening to her. I heard that the law enforcement has already stated only certified search and rescue and law enforcement can search. That's what I was under the impression by everything that because I've been checking, and from everything I can gather, that's exactly what's been stated. Yeah, my breathing is so bad. Oh, this COVID sucks.
It looks like we're going to find a location to meet at 8:30. It looks like, if possible, we're going to try to break into 3 teams, 2 at minimum, 3 teams. And we have certain areas.
All right. Something smells here. Number one, Betty can't get an audience to watch her on YouTube. How is she going to get all these people to show up? She don't have that many people to watch her from Tennessee. This is somebody else's search. Something tells me this is all being conducted by somebody else, and her and Olivia are inserting themselves for content. Nothing more. It just, no. Either she's talking out her ass, hi, literally Davis Farm, or this is somebody else's search. Search translated, it means stumble about the bushes for 5 minutes, moan, bitch, and scratch your backside, then give up. Yeah, I can't believe she's dumb enough to remind people about the monkey Vaughn eater. I wanted to say something, but I'm very careful on what I say because of, the poor child and his mom, and after she's went through enough with these YouTubers with scum like this. Sorry, but I don't think she helped that case in any way. Just my opinion. And it is, I remember the shenanigans. I remember a lot of her shenanigans.
That we are going to be searching. The reason why we're doing 2 to 3 teams and not anything bigger than that is because we only have walkie-talkies for 3 teams. And we need those walkie-talkies because if somebody does find something, we need to be able to get law enforcement out there immediately, and so on and so forth.
Oh, you mean like when you were fake searching for Kathleen Moore and you stumbled conveniently across the meat cleaver that you could definitely tell had not been there for long, and you picked it up and moved it around and took pictures and everything. You mean like that, Betty? Telling everybody that you found evidence? But you didn't, because it didn't have nothing to do with her. You also didn't find her like you claimed. Not even close, Betty. Yeah, walked around bitching and streaming. That's what you did. You were a nuisance, as usual. And you were so butthurt that it was a searcher from Dog the Bounty Hunter's team that actually located the remains, Betty. Not you. You had nothing to do with it. You had zilch to do with it.
But if you would like to come, this is in Kingsport, Tennessee. You can come in on the 16th. You can be out on the evening of the 17th and back home either the evening of the 17th or early morning of the 18th. But I really would like anybody and everybody that is willing to put boots on the grounds, is willing to just walk and talk, knock and post and just get as much information. If you do find somebody that does have information,
Hey, Gina Marie, good to see you. Hey, Petunia.
firsthand information, we need to get them in contact. First thing you need to ask is whether or not they've been in contact with law enforcement. And if they have not, we need to get them immediately in contact with law enforcement. There's just a lot of stuff. And so we want to get people out there and at a location at 8:30 so we can go over best practices and also areas to clear. And, we don't.
No, Betty, you have no idea what the hell you're doing. You wouldn't know where to start to clear an area. You've never done anything. Stop. Like I said, this is someone else's search going on that she's inserting herself into. Because if not, she's about to mess up bad. Because you can't be talking to people, Betty, and getting their statements before you decide if it's something that should be sent to law enforcement. That's called witness tampering, Betty. Interfering in a case, Betty. I want you to tell me how you're going to set these groups up, how you're going to search, what area. Now, this is over 320 acres, Betty, because that's where she was seen. So why are you going to go to a different part of town? I've seen how you put up flyers. You put up flyers on a small section of the street where the boyfriend lives. And you filmed it. That's why you and Olivia did it. That's it. Betty, you were posing for the camera. Stop. It's not about finding her. You have gotten on here multiple times and said that young lady is no longer with us. You've screamed it. You've ranted. That's not supporting the family, Betty. That's not supporting her. So you can't have it both ways. Which is it? You're going to search, or she's not with us no more? Which is it? How about the middle? You're going for content for your own ass. That's it.
Just some minor training and stuff like that. We want to keep everybody safe. So
minor training.
We'll be coordinating with other people to make sure that we are safe while we are out.
Okay. How are you going to provide any kind of minor training? Who's going to train you? Where's your certification and your own training that permits you to do this, Betty? You're going to piss around and get somebody hurt. Bet you didn't think about having insurance either, huh? You might want to check what the laws are. And you might want to check with law enforcement about what you can and cannot do in an open, active investigation. Just saying.
There in the areas that we are going to be identifying. So with that being said, September 17th, mark your calendars. If you would like to come out there and help, please do. But we're going to go out there. We're going to help this mother. This mother wants to bring her daughter home. And not that the father doesn't. I just haven't spoken to the father. I have had no communication with him. So I'm going to continue working with mom until that changes. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can reach out to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Happy to speak to you.
She was butthurt when she brought up the dad. Did you notice her face? And I just wonder how much contact she really has with the mother, because Betty didn't even acknowledge that there was a reward when there was a reward fund and there was a reward. She kept saying that there wasn't. And then when people finally pointed out in her chat after 100 times, then she runs to make a TikTok video, which again she put on YouTube, about the reward fund that we all knew was there for a week before she did. And after getting on here saying that Layla's no longer with us, I mean, it's I don't know if I believe her that she has a contact with the mother like she says. No way she's going to contact her, not after she has been talking shit about him. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hey, Becca.
If you so choose, I'm happy to keep you informed as we have boots on the ground out there. Otherwise, you can, continue having your phone service your phone service PI help you. So it sounds like all he does is pick up the phone and make phone calls. That's not me. I don't mind picking up phone calls and making phone calls, but I've got to be out there. Your daughter doesn't have really much of a digital footprint out there during this time, and I know that there's nobody that's going to be able to shake.
She didn't have a digital footprint, period, Betty, because she didn't even have a cell phone. And what are you talking about? Why do you always think it's okay to insult? SF Investigates has been a major part of finding 14 missing people, Betty. 14! How many have you found, Betty? Where's your credentials, Betty? Where's your training, Betty? Where's all your certificates? And I'm not talking about the revoked press pass that you paid for.
The trees like somebody with boots on the ground, period. So that's what we're going to be doing. So now you have an update on that. There's a $2,000 reward for any information leading to the whereabouts of Layla Santinello. Somebody knows something. I want
to read this comment. She has no more contact with the mom. The search is to save face and grift and hope she can get a lawsuit on someone. Yeah. I wouldn't put it past her. Has no training, certification, or experience. Nope, none. Hey, Stargazer Mom. She's full of crap. SF will be there telling her to take a hike with Ellie to back him. Exactly. Oh, she's going to put her foot in her mouth yet. She's going to do one of her rants here in a couple minutes.
I know that 1,000, 2,000, 1,000,000% that somebody knows something. And I want to know who picked her up.
Okay, Betty. Unfortunately, that's an area well known for the homeless and a lot of drug activity and drinking and all that stuff. Okay, Betty. I can't.
So another juror couldn't or wouldn't sit still during the trial. Seemed like every time she shifted the chair, it would make a loud squeak. Occasionally, attorneys would wait for the rhythm of the squeaks to subside before continuing their cross-examination. Then there was the egg lady, the juror that worked on the monkey farm in Low Country. She drove Judge Newman bananas one weekend, pun intended. Through the Facebook page, Walterboro Word of Mouth, about 20,000 followers. The juror's ex-husband posted about how she was talking way too much to friends and family about the case. Many people became aware of the situation after court on Friday, February 24th, and it was brought to the attention of Judge Newman. I typically didn't have the time or energy to watch any media coverage of the trial, but on that Friday night, I scrolled through the Walterboro Word of Mouth social media feed and saw saw the post from the ex-husband, but he didn't mention the juror's name or her juror number. So they knew that somebody on the jury was talking. They just didn't know who it was, and they didn't know who he was. So, this is kind of explaining this a little bit better.
Betty, you went over this already. People can read it. I'm fast forwarding. Get on with your rant.
Before court starting Monday morning, we learned later that the ex-spouse hadn't seen each other in 14 years, and the former juror had 3 restraining orders against her ex-husband. When a juror is removed or didn't show the distance correctly, said Doug
And
Brown.
that juror was dismissed. Jesus. What is this?
Them to be under
Right.
oath, if they're going to be under oath. I think they're going to tell a different story than what was told.
Justice, or on the scales of justice rather, then yeah, you know, they can't do that. It's deliberation. This is where they're allowed to discuss the case. They can't be having people out having separate discussions about the case. So I have no earthly idea.
Oh
Do it,
my.
but maybe once a day. But you don't have a right during deliberations to get a cigarette break. And Dick made a big issue of that. I am concerned that the process here, by the microphone, by
Oh, hold on. I just passed this. First of all, I want to tell you, Spice Girl, I don't know who you are, but you don't come in here and threaten me. You don't come in here and threaten my family.
You go,
You
Spice
don't come in here
Girl.
and threaten my subs. No, we don't do that. And at the end of the day, I'm going to Tennessee to search for a girl. And if anybody tries to stop me or tries to intimidate me, they will have their ass in jail.
They will.
I don't play. I do not play. And this time, my cameras will not be going off. And if she comes out there after following me from Florida to Georgia, now to Tennessee, she will be in jail with a felony. I've got documentation.
Betty, she wasn't following you to Georgia. You weren't even why she went there, but it's a free country, and I know who you're talking about. And if she wants to go to Tennessee, guess what? She has every right to be there, just like you do. Just like you do. But get over yourself. You're not that important, and you're damn sure not that relevant.
Of this, I bring it with me everywhere I go. When the cops are called out there, believe me, she will go to jail. I can guarantee that.
Like
It will-
you tried to lie and say she assaulted you in Georgia. Didn't go over, did it, Betty? Because you were lying. You were not assaulted. So why are you so intimidated by this woman? Is that why you're going to take the stand and lie in Dolly's trial and say that Dolly didn't assault her when it's on? I mean, it was done live. We watched it live. Just asking. Because, you know, you don't lie under oath, remember? But yet, you had no problem faking documents for mortgage fraud, right? Okay.
will not end well for her.
Mm.
It will end well just fine for me because I don't break the law.
Mm.
But her coming and
You don't break the law. Oh my gosh. I have never seen anybody with so many arrests that don't break the law. I have not seen anybody faking, making fake W-2s and other documents for mortgage fraud scams. But you don't break the law, Betty? Huh. You get on here and you threaten people. In fact, you're threatening her. Because nobody even said she was coming anywhere near you. Huh. Okay. That's not breaking the law? Okay. Getting arrested isn't breaking the law? How many arrests was it? Like 30, 40, something like that? I don't know. 20, 25? I don't know. You have a lot of them.
intentionally coming to another
All right,
state.
let's be honest.
Yeah. And believe me, I will make sure law enforcement knows of her, has a picture of her, and has all the documentation of her assaults on me, her threats on me, and everything else. So if she wants to come around and play with these games, and she wants to threaten me on other people's social media, people that I'm like it's going to be used against them, then please, by all means,
What?
I can.
Now that's a threat. That's a threat. That's a veiled threat. You can't use that against Queen Bee. And that's who you're talking about. Everybody knows it, miss. You think you're so slick and sly. You're not. You can't hold nothing against someone else when someone else's own words. You can't. No, that's not going to work. And I knew that's what you were going to do, Betty. Not going to work. Good try.
promise it's not going to end well for her.
Oh.
It'll end well just fine for me. Because
Mm.
for the last 2 years, your camp has been saying that I'm going to jail. It seems like everybody in your camp has gone to jail. Even Eileen. Eileen went to jail. BK went to jail. We got White Boy Lockdown in jail. It seems like you guys deal with
Okay, what does that have to do with, what does BK or White Boy Lockdown have anything to do with this? They don't. Look at how big your eyes get. Look how excited you get. You think you got some dirt on someone. You don't. You've been to jail. You may have bonded out, but you've been to jail. Lots of times.
a whole bunch of criminal people.
Like you.
We do not over here.
Mm.
So you go back to your criminals. You guys
Okay.
can all go to jail as far as I'm concerned.
When did you quit when did you quit being a criminal? I don't know. I'm asking. Because a lot of arrests. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. We all do. Hell, it's part of life. But you just don't keep making them over and over and over and over and over again. Usually it's one time you learn, you're done. Like you said. Okay, the kids are giving my husband a hard time.
Concerned. But you do not come over here. You do not threaten me. You do not threaten people in my chat. And as a matter of fact, don't ever come back here again. So let's talk about that. And I guarantee by the time we're all said and done with this, Dolly will be just fine. Because we know who the problems are. We can prove who the problems are. And I will not be intimidated. Okay? I'm done with that.
Okay.
I even told Olivia when we go out there, we start hearing about intimidation, we go through. Because every time we go somewhere,
Okay. Where's your proof? Who's the troublemaker? Who? Did I miss it? Did she show proof? Did I sleep through it here for a minute or something? She's so tough behind it. Yeah, she's keyboard tough. Betty, we seen how tough you guys are. You were going to do meet and greet. Actually, more than one place. And y'all turned around. There was, 4 or 5 of you? Y'all turned around and ran from some little woman. And all she wanted to do was meet you. And then you turned around and ran, Molly ran. And you were with Molly. From somebody who wanted to confront Molly about her bullshit. But you're so tough, right? You tried to get her arrested by lying in Georgia. Didn't work for you, did it, Betty?
we're here, that we're going to be, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. It never happens. And if she wants to go out there and mess around with a search of a missing girl, a coordinated search with a missing girl, with the family, a coordinated search with their family, and she wants to go out there and be a fool, now we can identify she does not care about anybody. Nobody. And if people want to continue to support that woman, you guys are supporting her alone. Maybe you guys need to start getting some bail money and commissary money if she's planning on coming to Tennessee. That's all I'm saying. And you can see, here, let me just take this. Not triggered, not upset, but I'm very confident.
No, you're not. You're scared that you might actually get confronted, Betty. And all you're going to do is try to use law enforcement. And that's not going to go well for you either. Stop. You're big and bad behind your computer. But that's it. That's it. And you are triggered. You're very triggered.
Very confident that she comes there and intimidates me or puts a hand on me or comes there MFing around. She will be the one in jail. Like she has been many, many times before.
Just, you two have a lot to talk about that. Because how many times have you gotten arrested, Bets? How many? So y'all got a lot in common. You should sit down and talk to her. Bet you she didn't get arrested running around with no pants on. Just saying. Yeah, she's very triggered.
Dick Harpootlian is so invested with Alex. He is. That's what people don't understand. He's willing to put his butt on the line for this man.
She cracks me up. She's sitting here going off about calling the cops and get somebody arrested, and they're going to need bail money and money on their books. And then she acting all big, bad, tough. I'm not triggered, but she's very triggered. And then she just jumps right back into talking about old Alex.
Friends. They are very good at friends.
Oh my God.
And they have even Jim Griffin. Good friends. Now, there, in my opinion alone. My opinion alone. There is issues with this whole.
Doesn't Betty keep saying she don't never ask for money? But she does. It goes right across the screen. I mean, I do too, but not to promote my next project because I'm not going on these fake searches, and I'm damn sure not going to go and act a fool in front of somebody's home.
This whole concoction of attorneys. They're friends. Obviously, they've scratched each other's back in the past, so they're loyal to each other, but that's not even it. Look at how much national and global attention James Griffin and Dick Harpootlian are receiving.
Okay.
The publicity alone is worth taking on this case pro bono for them. I can tell you that.
Oh, you can?
I can tell you that.
How do you know? Tell us how you know all this. Really, tell us how you know all this. Look at you. You really think you just got it pegged. You have no freaking clue. You truly have no clue. For somebody who claims to know the legal system and the inner workings of the legal system, you really don't have a clue.
Harpootlian?
You be watching Law and Order episodes and CSI, don't you?
Harpootlian. There's absolutely no reason for anyone to go up and start crap. Exactly. We're looking for a child. In coordination with a parent.
You're not looking for a child. She's a 21-year-old young woman. I don't believe you're coordinating with anybody. I think if this does go down, it's somebody else's. At least I hope that it's not you. Because you're going to get somebody hurt. You have no idea what you're doing. You have no clue. You've never went on much of a real search. 10, 15, max 20 minutes does not qualify you, Betty. It does not qualify you.
So, yeah. If you're there, all you're there to do is start trouble, and that's the one thing that this case does not need. But hey, if you want to be put on blast and you just think it's going to make you look so good, it makes you look like trash ghetto shit. That's what it makes you look like. But that's really what you espouse anyways.
Betty, the one thing the case don't need is you and all your drama, which you've done very well to this case already. I'm still confused. Why are you even doing a search when you've already claimed that she's no longer with us numerous times? I'll be waiting for that answer.
So I guess that's a compliment for your kind.
Why do you think you're so much better than anybody else? You're not. You're really not. You get on here and act like you sit up on this high horse when your record is probably worse than hers or about the same as hers. You know, the number of arrests. You're a nuisance, Betty. You're a nuisance. What about all the families you've hurt? All the victims and families you've attacked? Look at how you went after the surviving victims in the Idaho 4 case. Look at how you went after Brian's family. His family had nothing to do with it. His sisters had nothing to do with it. They're not responsible for his actions. Look at what you did in Georgia. Monkey Bond, Cass Gernon. Oh, Lord forbid, Summer Wells. I mean, you destroyed that case. You made that nothing but a circus. Callie Rodden. There's so many. Kathleen Moore. There's just so many of your victims.
I just want them to turn their cameras on. I honestly believe if these creators turn their cameras on, the people that are hanging out with them would look at them and say, these aren't, these people on social media would never hang out with these people in real life.
Why?
They're disgusting. They're
Betty, because someone doesn't show their face, looks has nothing to do with it. See, not all of us are as judgmental and just put ourselves on such a high pedestal that you're above everybody in all aspects of life when you're not. Have you looked in the mirror? Have you really looked in the mirror? I mean, I don't cam up half the time. I have, but most of the time I'm just too lazy to put makeup on. It's just so freaking hot down here right now. And once I get my hair all cut off next week, then we can talk. But yeah. Okay. Betty. By the way, you want some of this? I got 28 inches. That's how long my hair is. And I'm getting it cut into like real short, like right below the chin. Only because I know it's exactly enough to donate for a wig. But yeah. Yeah, it'll grow back. In a year, it'll be just as long. Makes me sick. But you can have some of it. I mean, they do hair transplants. Just saying.
slobs. They're criminals. They do drugs. Like in
Betty, this was only Saturday and you're doing your Sundays of self-reflecting again. Because everything you just mentioned, you've done. You're describing yourself when you're talking about these people. It's nothing you have not done in the past. It's mind-boggling to me how you don't even know nothing about this woman. And everybody is a crackhead or a drug addict according to you. Because of you. Because of your own history. And you still like to drink, which is, hey, that's fine. Just don't drink and drive like you do. Because you will go out and have several drinks at the local bars and then drive home. You know what? I've cleaned up accidents from people like you. There's nothing nice about having to tell a mother or a father that they've lost someone because some idiot chose to get behind the wheel.
In reality, the people that are on their channels hanging out with them for hours on hours on end every single day in real life would literally look down on these people. Look down on them. When you turn on the cameras and you see that they haven't cleaned up their dog and there's crap literally on their floor.
Who was she talking about?
It kind of turns your stomach a little bit.
What the hell are you talking about? Who is she talking about? I have no idea. Rock painting lady, that's a new name. Hey, that's a pretty cool name. Well, welcome. I hope you enjoy it. We're talking about Betty. Betty, who the hell are you talking about? And how do you know if they don't cam up that they don't clean their house? And how do you know there's dog doo-doo anywhere? How do you know all this information if they don't cam up? Why are you so hell-bent on people camming up? It doesn't matter. I don't give two shits what you look like. It's the content I'm watching. I don't,
Kind of turns your stomach a little bit.
Okay. Yeah,
These are people that they would only hang out with online. And that to me is like, I don't know. I can't do it. If I'm not hanging out with you in real life, I don't want to be spending my time with you in the digital world,
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Don't worry, Bets. We don't want to hang out with you ever in the digital world or the real world. Don't worry. We don't.
Oh my gosh. Oh, 357. Some idiot.
Oh.
I was threatened with bodily harm that if I went to Tennessee to help Layla's mom search for her daughter, that I would be met with bodily harm. Is basically the threat.
Not quite. I was there when things were said, and of course you're blowing it up a little bit more than what it is. But okay, you go ahead and believe that, Betty.
That's what they said.
No, not they. It was no they. Nope. Back it up. No they. Just the one. Just the one. And if that's what you're going to try to use in court, guess what? Epic fail. Because there's video proof of it. It was a one, not a they. And no one's responsible for her statements or my statements or your statements but ourselves.
Searching for a girl. So now actually putting boots on the ground. But again, it's their camp. They're trying to that whole side is representing apparently the father that has only been to Kingsport a handful of times, which God bless him. I mean, when parents divorce and you move to different areas. I mean, we see that with Hunter. His father lives in New York. His mother lives in Kingsport. It's not uncommon. One of those nerds, yeah. It's just kind of like
now you're trying to backpedal on your statement because people were getting on your shit about going after the father. Number one, Bets, you have no freaking clue what their relationship was, what went on during their life. You have no idea. But you'll get on here and make accusations. There is no side, the father's side, the mother's side. They are the parents. It is their daughter, their child that is missing, not yours. You want to divide because you think you're going to get somewhere with the mom. Why do you think you have not gotten an interview, Betty? Wonder why. Yeah. Stop. You're the one that wants to divide. And you're always shading the father when you have no clue about anything.
So it's hard because, I mean, I understand the father wants to find out stuff too, but you can't take money away from rewards and away from boots on the ground in that area, like her, PI, for example. Her PI cost her almost $2,000 to get, but he's a Tennessee PI, somebody that can literally be boots on the ground every single day working for this lady. Not somebody that's...
Stop. Betty, you about messed up again because you were going to say 800 and you caught yourself and said 2,000. Betty, a PI from anywhere can come and help out. Any professional helping out works. What do you mean the father's pulling money away? From what? From what? The PI that is volunteering their services. So where's the money being pulled away from, Betty?
That's thousands of miles away using a telephone. And thinking he's doing something. Oh, I called. You know what he told me yesterday? He told me that he coordinates with the FBI. First of all, let me just tell you something. I personally know several FBI agents. The one that's active and two that have been retired. I know a retired CIA agent. And one thing I can always tell you is they can't stand PIs. That is the truth. They don't like them. They think they muddle in all their...
You're bullshit. The FBI rarely get involved in the missing persons, especially in this level. But local law enforcement actually does work hand in hand with PIs. Look it up. I did. I'll bring it up and read it to you, Betty. But the FBI usually does not get involved in missing person cases. So no, they're not going to be a part of this. Other than to put out, maybe they'll put out flyers, stuff like that. But are they going to get out on the ground? Probably not. Local law enforcement is. And yes, they do work with PIs, Betty. And I don't believe you know any FBI agents. Stop. You don't know the law like you think, and you don't know half the shit you spew.
Crap. They think they're too damn nosy. They think that they are deserved information. This is what I'm hearing from them. This is what I've been told for years. They do not coordinate with PIs. They do not coordinate them. They do not coordinate with them. If they don't even give them any information. The only thing that they say they do is if a PI calls them with information, they will take that information. They do not discuss the case with them. They do not coordinate.
And you know this how? Are you a licensed private investigator? Have you contacted the FBI being a licensed private investigator about a missing persons case? Have you actually worked with the FBI ever at all? Don't think so, Bets.
With them. So this is a PI telling this family that he's coordinating with the FBI and law enforcement. That's horseshit.
No, it's not. Law enforcement works with PIs all the time, Betty. Oh, Jesus. Now I'm going to Google it. I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to share it, and I'm going to show everybody she's full of shit, because I looked this up just so I can prove she was full of shit yet again, and it does say that the FBI rarely does get involved in a missing persons case. But it says private investigators often work hand in hand with law enforcement agencies in missing persons cases, Betty. It's the first thing that comes up. Go figure, Bets. It says, so Bets, you're wrong. You're wrong. Yet again. But the FBI does rarely get involved in a missing persons case. They will help at times, but it falls on local law enforcement. I mean, I'm sure they'll...
It's a lie. You may call them. They may speak to you. But they ain't coordinating with you, dude. You are delusional. Even the officer in Kylie Rodney's case even said something or something to the effect of, we don't coordinate with.
Again, you're wrong, Betty. I just read it to you. Local law enforcement always works hand in hand with private investigators. Stop it. And they did in Kylie's case. And they will in this case. Why are you so hell-bent on FS Investigates? You're butthurt because he's actually qualified. Yeah, training, education, certification in multiple states. He has been a very big part of finding 14, Betty, 14 missing persons. How many have you found, Betty? How many? You're terrified that he's actually going to find something you couldn't find. And he will. Stop. This is not helping. This is not what an advocate does, Betty. If you're advocating for this family and Layla, then stop this shit, because this is not what you do. You want the aggravation. You want the drama, because you don't get the views without it. And it's all about the views and content for you. That's it. No more.
Private investigators. Give me a break. This dude is just full of.
Give me a break.
And that's what I can't stand. But he says
you're full of shit.
You know what? Listen to this. So this really, and I told you guys this, that he has spent days arguing with me. I'm going to keep the argument going to see how invested he's going to be in this argument. I am going to keep it going because I'm curious.
Betty, it's not like he's spending 24 hours a day for days arguing with you. He makes a post and you comment. That's it. I mean, it takes seconds, Betty. It's not that big a deal. You want to keep it going. We knew that. That's why you haven't stopped. He, on the other hand, is putting out professional tweets. You, not so much.
I mean, he stirred up all this stuff to get himself notoriety,
Mm.
right? But I'm the clout chaser, but he's
are
using me for clout.
using
Sounds like they're
what? Using you? Oh my God. Using you for clout. That's funny.
the clout chasers. If you ask me. If you ask me. So they're saying that that he's coordinating with law enforcement. How are you coordinating with law? You're not even there. You're not even there.
Don't have to be. Don't have to be. Read the articles. Google it. I did. Don't have to be, bad.
You know who's there? Layla Santinella's mother, Jen Santinella.
Mm-hmm.
Layla's brothers and sisters. Layla's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You know who's not there? This crackpot PI.
Mm.
That's who's not there. People are trying to say, "Oh, he's got a pilot license and he went." Then show me the flight manifest. You gotta put your flight track down. You can't just get in your plane and fly. You gotta put in paperwork to get in your plane. In where is it? If you were in Tennessee looking for this young girl in a plane, that's what's now being alleged, that he was out there looking at a plane. Prove it. Give me your flight log. I guarantee.
Betty, who the hell are you? He doesn't have to prove jack shit to you. Do you understand that? You're not even in the real media. Who are you? He doesn't have to prove nothing to you. Ever. Ever. You are really, really worried that he's going to find information you couldn't get. You are actually shaking in your boots. You're so butthurt that there's experienced, educated people in this field coming on board, and you know they're going to find stuff you couldn't.
You don't have it. I bet you if I called and did a public record request, I bet you I will not find your license on anything in Kingsport, Tennessee. And by the way, it is a government agency, and I happen to pull public records.
We know, and you're often wrong. You dox the wrong people all the time. We know how reliable you are at searching. Betty, again, he doesn't have to prove anything to you. But I don't think he would get on here and lie about all the states he's licensed in. And I do believe him. I mean, his record speaks for itself, and Chloe's record speaks for herself. They've been instrumental in finding 14 people, Betty. 14! I don't know if he has a pilot's license. I don't see why he would lie about that. It's not your business, though. That's just it. It's not your business. He doesn't have to prove a damn thing to you. You're a nobody. You're a YouTuber with 82 people in her chat. Just saying, for a bigger channel, you'd like to call yourself a big channel. But, you know, in the scheme of things, you're really not in YouTube because, hell, I'm just barely a speck and you're not much higher. You know, you have to have a lot of subs to be accountable in, you know, YouTube land. But, yeah. Okay. Again, Betty, why does he have to show you anything?
It's part of my job. So I know how to do it and I know how to acquire them.
You know how it's not a job. Remember, you don't work. Your own words. Betty, you know how to acquire a lot of wrong information. And even when you know what's wrong, like your bad doxes, you still run with it, Betty. So you're not doing a very good job. Just letting you know.
And I know how easy it is to acquire that information.
Good for you. We all can do
I
it.
would caution you before I make you look like an idiot.
Oh.
That you quit lying to your audience and start telling them the truth.
What?
That's all I'm going to say.
You just threatened him. You literally just threatened him. Who the hell are you? Prove he's lied about anything, because he hasn't. You have. You've been caught lying, Betty. But who the hell are you? You know, you might not want to bark up this tree, because this tree may bite you back. And you might not like that. And I think you got enough problems. I really think you have enough problems. Just telling you.
Everything's provable.
Uh-huh.
His nonsense, provable.
Okay. Now she's going to jump right into content again. You haven't proven anything, Betty. You have not proven anything.
Dick Harpootlian. And remember, when you go for the king, you better hit the king and you better kill the king. If Dick does not score on this, because there could be 10 jurors, Chris, that are going to come in and say that didn't happen, Becky Hill's going to have the greatest defamation claim against Dick Harpootlian that the legal world has ever seen.
Well, only if she also has the claim against the jurors who signed the affidavits who say it did happen, right? We know he's not making it out.
He doesn't have immunity for that. He doesn't have immunity in a press conference.
No, but what I'm saying is he's not making up.
Went into the
Commercial. I hate these ads. Oh, guys, do me a favor. Hit that like button for me. Don't forget, and subscribe. Okay, let's get back.
advise the jury.
Okay.
Jury.
But
he says, you know what? Listen to this. So this really, and I told you guys this, that he has spent days arguing with me. I'm going to keep the argument going to see how invested he's going to be in this argument.
Score on this, because there could be 10 jurors, Chris, that are going to come in and say that didn't happen.
I think she's about done here.
Flamethrowers. We're going to have flamethrowers in the Murdaugh trial, or post-trial flame-throwing contest. We're going to see who's a winner. Whoever wins, whether it's Becky Hill or Team Murdaugh, we're going to give them a free Bullhorn Betty t-shirt. Whoever the winner is of this nonsense is going to get a free Bullhorn Betty shirt. Which brings me to the other point. Don't forget,
Betty, no one wants one of your $1.99 or $1.25 Dollar Tree t-shirts that your mod makes for you with other people's copyrighted sayings on them. No, don't want one. I mean, even your name you took from someone else. And you don't have a trademark. You can't trademark someone else's name, even though they're deceased. It was a whole thing, you know.
Forget, tomorrow is the last day for your Crotchgate, your Flygate thumbnails.
My Lord.
Whoever is the winner is going to be receiving a free Bullhorn Betty shirt. They will be getting with Sonia. Sonia will be she's got whatever she's got. You can get whatever she has, and you'll get a free shirt from me.
Oh wow. What a prize.
It could be, but I don't think if she spoke, she wouldn't have spoken to 2 jurors. She would have spoken to the entire pool. So the fact that 10 people said it didn't happen, and she wouldn't be talking to 2 separate jurors and giving them advice if she was.
They're on break.
Because
they're walking around. She has a chance to get to one of them, then she has a chance to get to another. It's not like they walk around as a pack.
Nah. They go together and they're put in a room together. And that troubled me. And I don't think.
Like, you know, I'm trying to really, you know, balance this out, because to be honest with you, I thought these allegations were so far-fetched.
You didn't in the beginning.
We knew that our personal belief is we know Judge Newman.
Okay, wait a minute.
At least my personal belief.
So now you went from we to our. Who is our? Is that the same as we? Because I don't know. I'm asking.
Let me just rephrase that. My personal belief is I believe Judge Newman ran a tight ship. I thought that was one of the, and I've said it even after the trial was over, I thought that was one of the best, most well-rounded. I don't know. You just for as far as trial and how smoothly that trial had went.
But Betty, hey Chaos, hey K-Dob71, how are you? Betty, you didn't think that when the trial was going on. My, how you flip-flop.
In the case, I mean, you're talking about a lengthy trial, and we only had one scheduling issue the entire time, just one scheduling issue, and it didn't even really hiccup the trial that much. Not like Letitia Stout, where they had to throw a day completely away over a scheduling issue. This one was a very tight running machine.
You're talking about two totally different trials in different places, different courtrooms, different judges, juries, lawyers, defendants, plaintiffs. You're talking a whole different scenario. Alec wasn't carrying on a full like Letitia was either. So, and besides, Betty.
It was really a good trial, very fair in my opinion, very balanced in my opinion. The book deal, this is where they don't have me, is the book deal. The book would have sold, in my opinion. It's going to sell whether he's convicted or not, or had a mistrial. And again, I almost feel like the mistrial is like that major twist in like the unexpected twist in the case. Like, I think that would even have been more explosive, in my opinion. It would have just been way, way, way more explosive, in my opinion, to have.
You don't think him getting a new trial is going to be something? Bet you cover every minute of every second of everything 100,000 times over. Like you're this.
To have him have a mistrial, just my opinion. Because the information that we all heard, and we did the trial on here. I don't run trials. There's only been, I think, a couple trials I've ever ran on this channel. And Alec Murdaugh was one of those trials that we ran on this channel.
Yeah, I remember you got in trouble for streaming the trial when you weren't supposed to. I remember that. Then you told everybody that you had permission to stream it and you'd be back Monday morning, but you never came back with that trial again because you didn't have permission, and the courts made sure you knew you didn't have permission. But yeah, okay, Betty.
And that trial was
okay, Betty.
We all heard. I mean, outside of a few people in our chat, we all were guilty. Everything we were hearing was giving us the guilt, the guilty. It was the lying, all the lies from Camp Murdaugh. And he would never come clean with the lies until he was caught. It was only when he was caught in the lie that he would come clean about the lie. So I have no trust.
Isn't that what most liars do? And some, like you, never come clean at all. But, okay.
In the defense, none. Because clearly we know that Dick Harpootlian, as well as Jim Griffin, will represent their defendant with whatever they have. And this right here is meat on a bone that they can gnaw on. Now, does this mean that
as defense attorneys, aren't they supposed to be bulldogs for their client? I mean, isn't that them doing their job? Because if they weren't, you'd be on here saying all kinds of crazy stuff.
This clerk did it, it does not. And when I found out that and let me pull my other video back up if it's here.
Hi, Bash.
I think it's right about here. Let's just see. Let me just listen to this real quick.
Okay, let's reach out a little bit. Think that goes with territory of being a liar, Betty, you silly cow. Yeah. Hi, Cash Gernon. I got something I want to send you. Oh, thank you. from what I've seen, not much on her fake lawsuit. Yeah, she's not. She's a legal expert after all. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I will be right back. I take my Willow Bean, my blue nose on her walk. Oh, you have a blue nose? She knows so much about trials, yet can't her stuff get her stuff together or talk to opposing counsel on her own situation that she created on her own. Exactly. Told her she needs to get her bill of particulars ready instead of regurgitating this thing that she's been regurgitating since it came out with Alex Murdaugh. I mean, it's in the clerk of courts. It's like, and now she's saying she's going to do a deep dive on it. I don't know how any deeper she can go. I mean, she can't put words into the order. She can't add more pages to it. She's already went through it all. It's just mind-boggling. What are you going to play? Are you going to play one of your TikToks again? Jesus.
Here, I think it's this one. All right. So let me put this back up, and then we'll listen to a little more excerpts from my video.
From one of her.
This one right here.
Some of those
one of her TikToks
were made.
This is about the ghostwriter, which everybody knew there was a ghostwriter before any of this happened. But anyway, she's stealing someone else's content, and she's saying the hate squads and we're no longer roaches, we're hate squads. And everybody steals her content, but Betty uses everybody's content. So is she stealing content as well?
Is ridiculous. It was self-published, and it was checked through the Ethics Commission. She's in
Ethics Commission. So again, it was checked through the Ethics Commission. That's the part I wanted to bring to you guys, is that not only did she go through all the proper chains and procedures and protocols in an effort to publish this book, she went through the Ethics Commission to confirm she would not have any problems publishing this book, that she did not violate any oath of office in preparing this book and in doing. So she already got pre-approved, basically. So she went through everything that she was supposed to do to be able to do this. And then now she is being just thrown to the wolves. And this is where I said I just have a hard time.
Betty, if you was a real legal professional, like you claim, and so well versed in the law, and that was your defendant, and whether or not the impropriety is there, as a defense attorney, they're doing exactly what they should be doing for their client. There was a book published, self-published, but it was still published. There was a book written. They're doing what I would think any good defense attorney would do, and try to get their client a new trial. Your client would be in trouble if you were representing them.
And believing that she would do this out of her entire.
Do I think he should get a new trial? No. But will he? I don't know. Probably. Waste a lot more money. I don't think there was anything wrong done. But that's, I'm not a judge. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not involved in the case. So, really what I think don't matter. And honestly, Bets, what you think? Don't matter either.
Her career, she gets to this point. She's working under Judge Newman in this case. Just, these are things that people aspire to in the legal field. These are goals that they have. I don't know anybody that's willing to work that hard to meet those goals and then squander them. To squander them.
Mean like you? And
so I'm giving her a professional, a huge professional benefit of the doubt in this situation.
Betty, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, whatever you're given is irrelevant.
And I'm glad I did, because now information's coming out that's helping, at least in the grand scheme of things, supporting some of this that I have said. I'm sorry, but it's it's just hard. It's hard. You want to be fair and balanced, and I'm trying to go and get some ideas of what the professional community is saying, but it's so far off base with my perception that I can't even bring, like, these are lawyers.
Nuh-uh.
And I can't even listen to their opinion because they are so wrong. They jumped right on board with the defense that nobody is giving the balance or the professional courtesy to this clerk. And it's just, to me, it was.
Again, where's your law degree? What firm do you practice with? How do you know that these lawyers are wrong? Who are you to call these lawyers out? Wow, your hairline really is receding, unless it's just the way you have your hair parted. But that, yeah, okay. Betty, please quit bleaching your hair just for 6 months. Give your hair 6 months. You'll be surprised at the difference. But anyway, where's your law degree that you could judge these attorneys and how wrong they are? I'm waiting. Don't have one, do you, Vets?
I have to be honest, shocking. When I was taught, we were always taught, let's get all the information.
Okay. Number one, Betty, you were never in law school to be an attorney. You went to an accredited, sort of like a technical program, and it was a short course in paralegal, which I don't even know if you really graduated. But I've never found you licensed in the state of Florida. Betty, you didn't go to law school. Stop. You don't know the law, Betty. And I know shit about the law. I took business law when I was in college, when I got my associates, because I decided I wanted to mess around with federal tax accounting and stuff. Yeah, got bored with that, so I went back to medical school. But anyway, I don't know jack shit about law, other than how to write a contract. But I read your frivolous lawsuit, and girlfriend, let me tell you, you don't know jack shit about the law. I read what you submitted to the court. I actually took the time and I clicked every one of them damn links to view all your video clips you sent in. And Bets, girlfriend, you made it pretty easy. Yeah, you kind of did. You kind of showed all the stuff you do wrong. I laughed my ass off so bad watching those clips. I was like, is she fucking serious? This is what she submitted. Like I said, I don't know much. I never claimed to know much about the law. But damn, girl, them papers, that 114 pages the first time, then I've got all the responses to anything that's been filed in the case I have, and I've read through it. Yeah, I just haven't done no videos on it because, everybody else is, so, no need. I might do something once, it's over, but we'll see. And just put something all together, like you guys claim to do documentaries. Yeah, there you go. We can make a documentary. Nope, not. Anyway, I'm not putting that much effort into you. But keep preaching the law. Keep, putting down real attorneys that went to real colleges and real law schools and who took the bar and got licensed. Because, that bar is no picnic. I mean, and I know that from watching Housewives. I mean, come on, Emily's husband had to take the bar how many times? And even on Southern Charm, Greg was a ace student, but couldn't pass the bar because his ADD, his ADHD and stuff. And then, but he did end up passing the bar. Yeah. So that's my extent of my knowledge. But I'm not going to get up here and tell these lawyers they're clowns. I mean, I'm just not.
First, let's look at it, digest it, and then move forward with, our opinion and our statements and our observations and things like that. And I just felt that, this just went from 0 to 60, and nobody said, wait a minute, let's just stop and ask ourselves a few questions. Why this? Why would the clerk destroy her entire career over the Murdaugh trial. Fame and money. She's an elected official. She's already won the popularity contest. So she's already got the fame. So money. Okay. Let's look at this money avenue. She's the freaking clerk. Do you guys realize the clerk is the purse holder? The clerk is the checkbook for the county. She has a lot of money.
No, she don't have any. No.
She's
No, she don't have a lot of money. It's the county's money, Betty. And even she's held accountable. So yeah, okay.
She deals with millions and millions and millions of dollars. Okay, so we just remove fame and remove money. I mean, if she was all about the money, she would have found a way to finagle this stuff.
And
Hold on.
I really don't know how much fame is involved in being a clerk of courts, Betty. Okay.
She'll find out a way to finagle all this stuff. And find back doors and basically launder the money. It was about money. She could do it. Trust me. If anybody has the ability of hiding and weaving some money, it would be the clerk.
And do you know how many clerks of courts have been busted? I mean, there's been a lot over the years and years, Betty. They even get audited and checked out. They even report and they get busted. So yeah, I don't think she would have,
So the fame and money's gone. So now we're looking at this book deal. Okay, so they said three things: the book deal, fame, and money. Let's look at the book deal. Now we're finding out there is no book deal. There's no book deal. There's no financier. She's on the hook for $15,000, and this is a self-published book. So all the three motives that she would have tanked this and tampered with this jury, we can say doesn't appear to exist, in my opinion. Let's hear what
Betty, when you write a book and you sell copies of it, usually there's fame that comes along with that, and hopefully some money. So I'm sure she was hoping her book was going to sell and she could at least get her investment and the other person's investment back. But okay, there's a lot of authors that are very famous, Betty. I'm just saying.
Bullhorn has to say. Hey, Mama Bullhorn.
My train of thought waiting.
Oh,
You
Lord.
need to start having a pad of paper.
Okay, I'm always thinking outside the envelope. Hang on, somebody's calling. Oh, well.
No, I just want to remind you, you're on a live show, so you can call them back.
Oh, well, no, it's your sister. I dialed her. I'm always thinking outside of the envelope. There has to be a cause and relationship. Okay? And I'm always playing the what if game. Okay. How many jurors? They have two, right? Two.
It seems that way. Two and it looks like two jurors, and then the third one is they haven't been able to meet up with her to have the affidavit signed yet.
All right. It sounds to me like if they need to.
I don't know how much any of you have ever listened when her mom has come up on panel or called in, or Dolly's call-ins and stuff. Oh, thank you, K-Dog. I appreciate that. Oh, I got a super chat song. I don't know if it'll play. Let me try it. I don't know if it'll work. I hope it does. I think I downloaded or put the button in here. Let me see if it plays. Okay. Okay, now we'll go back to Betty. Thank you. That's the first time I got to play that. I really appreciate that. Okay, come on now. I didn't stop sharing. Let's finish her. What did it do? I shouldn't have to add it to screen. It should just go ahead and play. All right, now you're pissing me off. Oh, try to push on the right button, Kath. All right, it should start playing here. Is it going to make me reshare screen? Yes, it is. It sucks. It shouldn't have jumped off like that. I'm out of my StreamYard time anyway. I think I'll have to use Restream. Okay, now that should play.
To chase the money. That's what they need to do.
But my question is, what money? We're hearing there's no money.
There has to be some money somewhere. A prepaid college fund.
No.
Fund.
You know what? No.
Yes.
No, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You know what this sounds like to me? This sounds like to me that these two jurors had their feelings hurt
Okay,
sometime
what did I
during the
do?
trial. I don't think this.
I'm not paying attention. What did I miss? Wrenchka, I'm sorry. Where'd you go? I will do that now. There you go. Yeah, drop them links. I love watching them. Absolutely. Did it work? Okay, yeah, it worked. Okay. Sorry, guys, I didn't see that. I actually stepped in the house to give my daughter a goodnight kiss. She just wouldn't go to sleep without mommy. Yes, please click the links drop and sign up for the November. Yes, please do. That is amazing. I'll put that on my community tab and on my Facebook and Twitter too. I'm just a tiny speck, but hey, it might help.
This is money related. I think this is vindictive related. Honestly.
Well, I'm going to say something else.
Uh-oh.
You may not like.
But I get it. What I was saying earlier was, if you ever listen to Mama Bullhorn, I get it. I get Betty. Betty's laugh is just, that cackle is just heavier and louder. You know, Mama Bullhorn's a bit older. Absolutely crazy nurse. I love Cash Gunner's family. They do such amazing things. They are really making a difference and really making important changes. Yes, please, everybody post it and share it. Get it out there and share it. But Betty's, I get it. It's like, but Betty's mom's the one that really worked for a judge in some type of fashion. Because I was watching when Betty was pissed off when her mom came up and busted out about how she's the one that actually worked for the judge. Betty did not like that. Her face said it all, and she ended that call fairly quickly.
There's a reason Poot and Magoo are doing this. Number one, all the money that Alec had was seized by the state of South Carolina.
Everything?
As I recall.
Did they seize everything, Alex? I mean, that family money was so entwined and went back generations. Was it even possible for them to seize it all? I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I believe her any more than I believe Bets. Sorry. I just don't. Yeah. It was just a little local just. I don't think it was no big. I don't. But anyway.
Because it can't be relinquished to the attorneys because it was fraudulently gained. Even the property in Mosaic.
No, that's not true. They have that all escrowed. That's already been
established. That's definitely not true.
Because after the escrows are done, Buster's getting $500,000 from the stuff that I was able to look at. Now, maybe some of it is going. It's like, I don't know. It's in some type of trust or something like that. When everything's resolved, I think it's supposed to go to potentially the
Crazy Nurse, you're
victims
so
after his attorney's fees.
You're so sweet, Crazy Nurse. You just really are. You're a great mom too, but you're really sweet. And yes, everybody share that out. It's for all the states. That's fantastic. It did outlaw?
Something like that.
Well, that leads me to my question.
Yeah, Cash, if you can you post your link?
Was Alex's best friend in law school.
Mm-hmm.
Harpootlian is running for Senate. What do they have to gain financially? There's no money.
Mm-hmm.
Alec has no money. There has to be an
You believe
outside
that?
bank.
Wait, you believe that there's no money? You go right on ahead and believe that all you want. Do you? I'm not even.
You know,
go
somebody
there.
banking them.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to do this for free. Going through another 6-week trial? Are you freaking
did, Crazy
kidding
Nurse?
me?
Oh my God, that must have been so hard. That breaks my heart. You know that I worry about my goddaughters. I worry, and that's probably why I was a helicopter mom with them when I had them. But that's probably why I'm such a helicopter mom. I because of the stuff I went through with these kids with the bios, the dad especially, and I still go through. That's why I don't answer my phone 90% of the time, because they use Google numbers and just burn my phone up when they're on a rant. He does. That just terrifies me. That worries me, because it happens all the time, and people think, oh, it won't happen to you, or it's not going to happen in your neighborhood, but it does. It happens everywhere. Thank God for you, Crazy Nurse. You're amazing. You're getting ready to work with the group here in Clearwater. Oh, let me know about it. Maybe there's some way I can send me the info. We got to exchange numbers, Crazy Nurse. I'd love to help out if there's anything I can do, even if it's just sharing stuff. And I will definitely put out cash earning stuff everywhere. There's just got to be more done for things that have happened. It can't. And sadly, it's things that we shouldn't even have to fight to change. People are sickening.
They're going to pay for all those witnesses again?
Well, I mean, if it has to happen, it has to happen. I mean, to be honest with you, if it's got to happen, it's got to happen.
Well, it almost bankrupted the state of South Carolina to start with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the county did declare bankruptcy and got money, funding from the state.
I'll help in any way I can. I live in Central Florida. I'll help in any way I can.
But South Carolina is very poor anyways. Most municipalities don't have a whole lot of money.
Unless you're in the Hamptons. I'm just saying. Don't kill me.
The Hamptons isn't in California.
Saying is, there has to be a source outside of the realm, i.e., maybe his mother's estate. Maybe his brother. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
You can bet that is generational wealth. Okay, you can bet that there's money. Just bet on that.
He had a lot of friends in a lot of high places. Who knows? They may have pulled some money. I don't know, but there has to be a reason.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, Outlaw. If it's okay, put it on our intros of the intros and outros of our videos. Yeah, if they don't mind, I would do that. I'll make an outro just with that. Yeah, invested money. But Cash Garden, would that be okay if I make an outro? And put this and put that as my outro. I'll do that tonight after I'm done.
I swear to God, first of all, I agree there has to be a grand jury. But before there's a grand jury, there has to be a grand jury investigation to see if it's worth their time to even look into this.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're blowing smoke out their butts.
You know what? I would love to know what the younger sister's like, because Mama Bullhorn and the Bullhorn are so much alike. They absolutely know everything about the law, but they don't. I just wonder what the little sister's like. Yeah, post a video link. Good idea. Yeah, old money that's very entwined. They are smart people. There's no way that man don't have no money. No way. No way.
Right.
And wishing upon a star. This is one great big wish. Because I don't think it's going to get that far. Mark my word. I think there's a lot of smart.
So let me just ask you this: do you think the clerk did these things or no?
No.
Okay.
Because she'd have to get through 3 bailiffs, one at each of the doors.
I don't know about those two jurors' statements, but the book is going to be the issue, regardless. The book is going to be the issue. Any defense attorney is going to use it as much as they can to try to get a new trial. That's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. As far as the jury stuff, you're going to have to wait till the court finishes its investigation to find anything out. But you putting all these assumptions out there, I'm like, they're not assumptions. You state things as fact, just like Mama Bourne does. Oh, it's like 2 years too much.
Okay. That'd be one.
Well, I'm just asking a yes or no. We got that. We got the gist of where the bailiffs may have been. I got one other question to ask you, Mom. One other question to ask.
All on camera.
Okay, I got one more question to ask you. There's a jerk in the chat that I'm about to block, but can you confirm that not only did I go to college to become a paralegal, that I graduated as a paralegal, that I graduated in the top 2% of my class, that I was on Dean's List, and I graduated in 2000?
Yes, ma'am. You were living at home part of that time.
Okay, Betty, it was an unaccredited school at the time. I'm not sure there was much of a Dean's List, Betty. Oh, I cannot. That is your claim. That's your only claim. Huh. Betty, you started saying you were a reporter because your sister got a job as a news anchor. That's why you started doing this, Betty. Jealousy. Oh, when it rears its ugly head. If you were truly a paralegal, Betty, why are you not working as a paralegal? Why have you not been licensed or certified in the state of Florida and held an actual real job as a real paralegal in a real law firm? I'm not talking about the mortgage fraud scam business you were working for, making those phony W-2s and stuff. And yeah, we know it's true, Betty. Seen the documents. Seen them. You probably snitched your ass off to get out of trouble. But anyway, I don't understand how you didn't go down with that ship. You should have. But snitches never do. Oh, well, that's not true. Eventually they do. But you didn't in that case. So, again, if you were such a crackpot paralegal, why have you not worked? Good question. I mean, it's just a question.
And yes, ma'am. I went to your graduation.
Okay.
I got pictures of you at your graduation.
I got pictures of me with my tassels around my neck.
Okay. Betty, I never said you didn't go to school. I said you went to an unaccredited college at the time. It was not an accredited program that you attended. Just because you graduated doesn't mean anything. Where is your career that you claim you had that you didn't have? Who is this attorney now, judge, or was judge, that you work for? Because, yeah. And now you're saying attorneys. And for over 10 years. I call bullshit. I call total bullshit. Receipts or it didn't happen. I mean, you're asking FS Investigates to show you his flight logs, his pilot license, and his underwear and every damn thing else, which is none of your damn business. But you can't show any proof that you were actually ever had the certification or a registered paralegal in the state of Florida with a real paying job. I mean, you ask it of other people, but yet you don't have to show nothing. I get it. Got you.
Around your neck, absolutely.
Yeah. So,
the other thing is, you wouldn't have got your first job.
No.
Who is now a federal judge.
Retired federal judge.
Retired federal judge. God bless him. He's still practicing.
Yeah. You know what? That's the first time your mother ever said that, because usually she says she's the one that worked for the judge. But Betty, he wasn't, even if you did briefly. Are you sure it wasn't your internship? Because I'm sure it's like anything else. You got to have some clinical hours. That's just the name for the medical, because that's how we did it. We had to have clinical hours. I had to have ER hours. I had to have ICU hours. We had to do it all. I'm sure you had to have some internship or something. Receipts or it didn't happen. That's not receipts.
Once an attorney, always an attorney. All right, Mom. Love ya.
All right. I love you, baby.
Bye-bye.
And if you actually did work for some small town lawyer, it had to have been very, very briefly. Because remember, you were working for the mortgage fraud scam business. And then you were claiming you were the office manager at your dad's real estate office when that article was wrote about how you go in there and you claimed you was the office manager and you would run background checks on people. You would use your dad's business to do that. Yeah. Remember? I'm just asking, when did you do all this? I just really would, because let me tell you something. The way Betty talks and pats herself on the back all the time, there is no way on God's earth that woman wouldn't be bragging out her ass if she really did work for lawyers for 10 years and he really became this big federal judge, even though she wasn't working for him when he did. Her working there would have nothing to do with him becoming a federal judge. But she'd take the claim, but she'd take it though. She'd get up there and claim it's because of her being such a crackpot paralegal. And she don't talk about none of that. That's how I know she's full of shit. Betty pats herself on the back if she gets a sticky on her clothes when she's fake looking for somebody. She pats herself on the back all the time. There's no way. Yeah. She actually had her real estate license for a year. Never actually used it, but had it. Yeah. And you know what? Before her mom wouldn't answer that question, she would say she's the one that worked for the judge. Betty may have worked at that law office for a minute, but that had nothing to do years later, him becoming a judge. But the way Betty is, Betty would take the credit for all that. She would have been double patting herself on all sides of her back. Yeah, Chaos, she claimed in the article that she was the office manager. And she would actually go in there. And she said she did background checks on stuff, on people. She said it was because a guy she was dating. I don't imagine it was a very big dating pool. But anyway, yeah. I heard her dad don't even talk. It's sad. Yeah, that too. He's a master of all trades, I guess. But yeah. Mm. You know, she can fix anything. Actually, I may still have that. I know Burnt Toast had it. Because I got it was sent to me by someone right when I first started my channel. I was just getting started, and Toasty was, yeah, come on, she does great doing Betty. I had touched on it in my live, but I kind of knew that it was sent to her too because they told me they did, so I didn't, show it. But yeah, it Burnt Toast. It was on it was in one of her videos too. Because even she tried to find this lawyer or / judge, and come on, it's just not there. And now she's claiming that she's going to be behind all these cyberbullying laws. Well, she's going to put herself in trouble because she does exactly what she's saying she wants laws enacted for. But she's not behind anything. I'm thinking Walter is her brother. Oh, yeah, Bash, you don't know about that? Oh, yeah, she fudged tax records, W-2s, pay stubs, all kinds of employment verifications. Oh, yeah. Yep. She was big in that. In fact, everybody in the company went down, and Betty didn't because I think Betty snitched. But she's in the paperwork. And there's messages from her telling them that she wasn't going to do it for the new person because apparently she was bent out of shape. They hired somebody new, and I guess they got a better position in hers. Jack of all trades, master of none. She takes after her dad. Exactly. Who's dangerous? What'd I miss? Yeah, he's a little bit of everything. I think he would he probably bought some properties and rehabbed them and resold them. I would have, by the way she talks, I don't know if that's the case. But yeah. Oh, Walter, he's dangerous. The scariest man on earth.
All right, so there we heard from Mama Bullhorn in the house. And actually,
now I know where you get it.
When I turn this off, it's because we have a lag behind here. So I'm not sure if you guys know that when you're live, you have a lag. And sometimes having the video on when you're trying to do some things, and it helps. That's all. So Drunken Turkey Show, nice to have you in the house. I tried to confirm whether it was you, but I don't know how to work YouTube. So hopefully... So hopefully it's really you. If not, it's nice to see your alter personality.
That
you guys are going to hear the lawn man. That's who was at the doors, the lawn guy. We're getting the lawn mowed today. Yay!
Who's we? You live alone, according to you. So who's we? And you're going to actually pay someone to cut your grass? That is shocking because you really are cheap. That is good for you. But who's we? You're either saying we or our, and it's a you. A you. Singular. One.
It's probably a mess out there because I haven't gone out there and cleaned since the last hurricane. But since only a garbage can fell over in the
Betty,
front.
you didn't get anything from the last hurricane. Adelia did not even touch you. You got zilch, 0. Stop. It's okay if you don't take care of your yard. Some people don't. They don't care. And that's fine. It's your house. I don't give a shit. My husband, on the other hand, is very fanatical about his yard, and it drives me up a freaking wall. But anyway, don't care about your yard, Bets.
Yard. I just assumed everything else was there. So it is interesting about this, and I'm glad again that I took the right side of this argument.
Okay, you see how she does this? She just I mean, she can switch faster than Sybil. You guys remember that movie Sybil? all them personalities. This woman can go from a rant to not even a half a second later and go right back into talking about some crime case. She could switch it up. The internet FBI, wrong live. Okay. Don't know who you are, but I like your name.
I have a funny feeling, I don't know what happened. None of us really do. We're
Bash. See what I mean? You know about her work history too. That's what I mean. If Betty actually worked for an attorney that later on, even though she no longer worked for him, became a federal judge, she would be spouting it from the mountaintops. I can't find any attorney she worked for. I can't find that she was even licensed in the state of, or registered in the state of Florida. But that doesn't, she still could have been. That doesn't, but yeah. And I know for a fact that I've heard Mama Bullhorn deliberately skirt that. And I heard the live she came on and busted Betty out and said, no, I worked for the judge. And she kept talking about how many years she worked for the judge. And Betty was pissed. And now all of a sudden, Mama Bullhorn's going to, after all this time, say, yeah, you worked for him, but he wasn't a judge then. And she didn't even know he passed away. I don't know.
Sides of this argument,
that's good.
The FCC is the reality of a clerk just going totally against her oath of office for a book deal, and then we find out it's this is a hocus pocus to me. This is hocus pocus. Yes, it's okay. It's Daniel. Well, nice to meet you, Daniel. I'm Andrea. I'm Bullhorn Betty. I got a fake reputation to uphold over here on the streets of YouTube, but for the most part, I'm actually a pretty decent person. So it's nice to.
No, you're not. You're not a fake reputation. You're right about that, but being a nice person, you're not right about that.
Face to a name. Anyways, and I actually watched your show for a little bit. I think I came in there and said hi. Every now and again, I come pop in to see what's shaking. But yeah, this is a crazy story that I just didn't believe at the beginning, and then I pulled the actual motion for new trial, and so yesterday I'm reading this thing and I'm like, oh crap! Please don't tell me we're going to have a new trial.
Betty, the motion for a new trial has been out here. A lot of people have it. I mean, it's been all over social media. It's nothing.
Okay. Or Alec Murdaugh. That this is a crazy, for me, this is a crazy story. Okay. It just, even when I was hearing it and reading these affidavits, I'm like, oh my, this sounds bad. If this is really true, we're going to be going to a new trial. If these allegations in this notice for new trial are true, we're going to a new trial. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't see how they're going to be able to get around it. But I just really, even yesterday, I kept cautioning the audience. I'm like, dude, I really don't think. It's hard for me to believe. It's just hard for me to.
That's what I thought, Bash. The only attorney she worked for was a foreclosure attorney. She never worked for anybody that became a federal judge. Yeah, that's what I thought. I couldn't find anything. And if he did become a federal judge, it had nothing to do with her. She wasn't even around. But that's what I mean. If it did happen, she'd be bragging. Oh my gosh, would she be bragging?
Believe this whole situation is hard for me to believe, and I don't care for the Murdaughs.
And she wouldn't hesitate now, especially since he's supposedly deceased.
Care for his attorneys, and it's hard for me to take their word over an established, a well-known clerk. And this lady is above, beyond reproach. She's just a nice person, and
that's where you're wrong, Betty, because no one in public office is above reproach. It just doesn't happen that way. Politicians are politicians, but okay. And in the beginning, you weren't so nice about it, Betty.
Again, is it possible? Of course, anything is possible. We deal with humanity each and every day. We see a lot of disgusting people doing a lot of disgusting things. could she have done this? Of course it's possible, but because I come from a legal background, I know clerks. I know my own clerk here at Manatee County. I don't really care for her, but if you came to me and told me Angel is doing this in court, I'd say no way. I may not like her, but I know she's not like that, and she would never do that over money. So
how do you know, Betty? You don't know these people personally. So how do you know? You just don't know. I would hope they wouldn't, but unfortunately it happens every day in politics. But you act like you know these people personally. And I don't really think your county clerk cares if you like her or not, Betty. I mean, it's irrelevant.
Clerks, they do a lot of money. So all of this to me, and now that I started hearing from the ghostwriter, I'm glad the ghostwriter came out and said his spiel. That really helped, make me feel a little more confident that she may not have done this. But I have to be honest with you, this motion for new trial does not look good. It really doesn't. But I'm confident that, hopefully this is just, some people having some feelings hurt on the juror, just being vindictive.
Betty, wait a minute. It doesn't look good, but you're confident. Just like with the search for Layla you're doing after you get on here and say numerous times that she's no longer with us. You really are giving me a headache. You really, truly are. Do you ever watch? Yeah, you're so involved into yourself. I'm pretty sure you watch back
maybe
your streams probably a couple hundred times.
Misunderstood. I just don't know. I don't know. I'm eager to find out, but I'm just still going to be very cautious with the clerk because the clerk's highly respected. And sorry, Alec Murdaugh is just not. And I'm trying to balance this as positive as possible because
you know what? Not a whole lot to balance. You got the clerk of courts on this hand, and you got Alex Murdaugh on the other hand, a convicted killer. Who's more trustworthy? Who do you think's gonna raise the scale up a little bit? Just saying. Pretty obvious choice.
This is true. If this clerk did these things, I will be honest with you, Daniel. We're going to a new trial. I'm hopeful and praying that these aren't true. And every day I hear another video come out in defense of the clerk, it makes me feel a little better, a little better about maybe we won't have to go to a new trial. Maybe this is all concocted and hocus pocus from the defense team.
Stop lying to people. You were drooling at the mouth hoping for a new trial for the content. Are you kidding me?
But to be honest with you, we just don't have enough information to say one way or another. But so far, the stuff I've read today, outside of even the affidavits, outside of the statements that they allege that Ms. Hill made, everything seems normal and customary in a court proceeding. I mean, they would be, honestly, they would be taught the foreperson and only the foreperson would be discussing with the clerk at the request. They would go through the bailiff. The bailiff will get the clerk. It's very orchestrated. It's very systematic. So, and that's all we're hearing is that she walked away with the foreperson and she had private communications with the foreperson. And that would be typical in a situation where, people aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, or if the foreperson has concerns about a juror, they would want to have those private concerns addressed with the clerk. The clerk would then go to the judge and resolution would then come. So even with her.
Betty, how many juries have you served on? How many times have you been a jury foreperson? I couldn't imagine you being on a jury, let alone the foreperson. I think you're talking about your experience sitting at home watching Law and Order or CSI, one of those shows. Because where's all your courtroom experience from? There is no way on God's given earth that if you were involved in any kind of court cases, be it nothing or big, that you wouldn't be on here cackling about it. Stop. You're exhausting.
Having private communications with the foreperson, it really doesn't. It doesn't seem improper. It seems, in my experience, this all seems, now it's the statements, if those statements are true, where she's saying, but here's the other kicker, since I don't know how long you've been here, they said that she instructed the jury. It wasn't individual people, it was the jury. She instructed the jury to watch him closely, that she instructed the jury not to be fooled. So it sounds like she instructed them as a collective body instead of individually, yet we're going to be hearing from the rest of these jurors, and they're probably not going to confirm what these affidavits
But
said,
you don't
at least
know
according
that.
to Eric Bland. So, well, I don't know. But we're over our 2 hours. I'm glad you got to come by and take a look at the Bullhorn Betty channel. It's nice to see you and meet you again. Everybody else, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. We will be picking up from Exhibit E tomorrow. We're going to be, if you guys, I dropped the link for this
no, we're
motion.
not. No, we're not. I'm not picking up no more. How many times you going to beat this dead horse? And Betty, you have no idea what is going on. You don't know what statements the other jurors have given to the judge. You have no clue. But I do know one thing. You're not being honest. You want a new trial. You so badly want it, you can taste it. But okay.
For new trial in the chat earlier.
Oh, wait a minute. Tomorrow's Sunday.
If you guys want to review this information, so you guys will have a little more insight, so we can have a more in-depth conversation, we will be starting Exhibit E. We'll do a quick refresher in the morning about all the stuff we've gotten up to this point, but we'll start from Exhibit E and move until we are finally through this entire motion for new trial. I hope you all have a great Saturday. God bless each and every one of you. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time.
Okay. Betty. Tomorrow is Sunday. Sorry, guys, I had to cough. Tomorrow is Sunday. It is your day of self-reflection. That's when you get on here and you rant about everybody else, but it's really all the stuff you do. And you put it on everybody else. Because, Lord knows you're not going to take ownership of nothing. So instead of doing that tomorrow, you're going to muck it up with regurgitating this again. I'm out, Bets. I can't handle another day of it. Daddy Rapper? Oh, you changed it, Rapper? Is that you? Let me find out. Okay. Oh, Betty. You're exhausting. You are totally exhausting. Oh, you just joined September 2nd. New screen name. I hope you're okay, good rapper. Oh, she's nuts. She's freaking nuts. I need a couple bottles of Excedrin. Hell with that. Give me a... Yeah. Oh. Jeez. I just hope... I don't know what's going on with this search. I have a feeling that she's attaching herself... That when I'm just hoping that it is being organized by professional searchers, people that are trained, know what they're doing, and not Betty and Olivia. I mean, come on. Olivia wears high heels and a tennis dress to go looking in the woods. Give me a fucking break. It was, and all they did was pose for the pose while they were recording each other. I mean, Betty literally stopped, bent down, and put her head up, looking right at the camera, while she's supposedly searching in this swampy weed area where there's no need to bend over and search anything. It's an active open case. Stay the hell out of it. Don't go down there trying to get people to talk to you. They could be potential witnesses and have some actual legit good information for the police, but you're going to go muck it up. And you want to pin the family against each other. And that's why you keep making your crappy comments and sliding your little windows and you're shading the dad all the time when you have no clue what their relationship was. And it's not your business. And then you're going to ask a professional who is licensed in multiple states, who has been a very big advocate for the missing, who's actually been very instrumental in 14 people being found. 14. And you're going to demand that he shows you his pilot's license or his PI certification for anywhere? He doesn't owe you anything. You're no one to ask of any of that. But yet, you don't have to show no proof of all the stuff you say, but everybody else has got to show you proof. Gotcha. Him and Chloe are volunteering their time. You should be welcoming that as a so-called advocate. You should be welcoming any help. Instead, you want to have a Twitter beef, which you then brought to YouTube, of course, because you need content. But you're an advocate. You've got on here and you've ranted and raved about this girl, Layla. You've actually said that she's gone. You've actually said that mother lost her child. And I'm saying it in nice words. I'm not using the exact words you used because I don't want to. I'm not, to me, that's disrespectful. You're supposed to be an advocate. You're supposed to be fighting for this girl, for her family. I don't know any advocate that acts like that. I don't know any advocate that would want the family staying on separate sides when the parents both are missing their daughter. They are both the parents. And how come you haven't gotten an interview, Betty? I really question if you even are in contact with the mother like you claim, especially over the reward fund stuff. You had no idea. SF Investigates and Chloe will be on panel on Webster's channel along with George and Brittany Monday night. Okay, I'll make sure I catch that. Thank you, Bash. Yeah, he's actually responded to some of my tweets. He's pretty cool. She's just so butthurt about him. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Instead, a real true advocate would welcome the help of private investigators. It don't matter if they are doing it for the dad or the mom. It don't matter. Betty knows if they go down there, which they probably already have, he probably already has, that they will get information that she did not. And she's been lying to people, saying that she got information that she can't share with everybody else, but shared with the mother. Well, if you had any real legit information, Betty, you should have went right to the police. But of course you wouldn't do that. Because no one should be giving you information anyway. You shouldn't be interviewing any potential witnesses to anything. You are not law enforcement. Heck, you're not even the media. Stay out of it if you can't do it the right way. That's not helping Betty. You should be encouraging the mom and dad to communicate. And the PIs to communicate. Everybody communicate. You should be encouraging everybody to work together. But you won't do that. And again, how come the mother has not given you an interview, Betty? Don't say you didn't want one, Because we all know that's a lie. That's a flat out lie. Don't even say that. I'm going over to meet him when he gets to Kingsport. I'll get to see how a rural PI works. Oh, that's great, Bash. That's awesome. Oh, so he's coming down there? That's awesome. Hey, I look at it like this. They're volunteering their time. So anything they do is a plus. I mean, she is terrified that they're going to find something out and get info on her. That's exactly what they are. And I just hope that this search, because somebody could get seriously hurt in that area. I mean, it's not the best part of town where they go back, start in that area. Betty and Olivia have no idea how to coordinate searches, how to block it all. I mean, when I did the searches, when I volunteered and did the searches for little Kaylee Anthony, that was so organized. And so, I mean, I just can't imagine them doing that. They don't have the training or the experience. I even got to meet Tim from EquiSearch. But they don't have a clue what to do. I don't understand it. Yeah, he was showing some of his equipment on Twitter. That's pretty cool. He's bringing some cool equipment with him to aid in the search. Yeah. Yeah, it did. Time Crew stood with us on Cash Anniversary with the head FBI. Aw. But I can tell you, Betty, you don't know how to organize these searches. You don't. It takes a lot. And I can tell you one thing, there wasn't no one streaming it live. We were actually searching, walking, searching for real, for hours, all day. I don't know. I just by my guts telling me that if this is going to happen, that, well, not my gut, but what I'm hoping is that yet again, Betty's inserting herself where she don't belong and taking the credit for it. Steve said she's allowed to search public areas only. She cannot search where LE and SAR is searching, and LE will be enforcing this. That's fantastic. Because if Betty would come across something, I mean, look at what she did in the Kathleen Moore case. I mean, at the minute that some say they planted that meat cleaver. Could have, just like the water bottle situation. But in a slight chance that could have been raw evidence, she was picking it up and moving it and taking pictures of it for content. EquiSearch is amazing. Yeah. Yeah, that would be great if they would. I know that I know Tim can't go on every case. I know EquiSearch can't do every case. It would be. But I don't know. I just don't think it's. I'm hoping. Yeah, they do have a chapter in Florida. I'm just hoping that nobody gets hurt. or gets lost. I mean, 320 acres is a lot of ground to cover. Do you know how many searchers that's going to take? I mean, her and Olivia were down there making all kind of wild accusations, saying that bedding was hers and they found her campsite, and none of that was true. None of it was true. And I think that's why the mom still clears her. I think the mom realized, hey, people were right. Look at the misinformation she's putting out there. Not to mention she's got on here numerous times and said my daughter's gone. EquiSearch was on Summer's case, yeah. Yeah, that's... Maybe SF can show BHP what real search equipment is, and that it's more than just having walkie-talkies like her and Olivia have. Yeah, that cracked me up. They were 10 steps away from each other and talking to each other on a walkie-talkie. I wanted to die. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But they act like this is for nothing more than all it is some badly staged content. And they're not good actresses. They really are not. And, not to mention it was almost 2 months before Betty and Olivia even got involved and went there. Where were you for the first 2 months she was gone, Betty? And at the same time, Betty, there's someone missing right in your own town, right in your own backyard. I covered it. I put it in Bearcat Alley and Crazy Nurse the other night. I put it in here. I covered it. You still have not even mentioned anything about that person. That's in your own backyard. You have Twitter messages from Steve? Oh, that's cool. I'm going to meet up in Summer's case. They came in, messed up the scent trail. For Summer, in my opinion, of how the law and their dogs, Unwell's dogs, and what they did, yeah. They mess with investigations. Exactly, impeding an investigation. This is an active, open case. She don't pull the shit here in Florida, you right, Crazy Nurse, because she knows she can't. That's exactly why she don't. But when someone's missing in your own backyard, you only in the fucking town you live in, right there, and you can't even be decent enough to mention the name. She brought the drama to this case. She was stirring up stuff. She was trying to do it with several cases. It stuck in this one so she could have content. I just hope nobody gets hurt. Layla's mom has a new Instagram post of her sticking flyers on her car. She doesn't need Betty's flyers. Exactly. I don't think Betty has contact with her like she says. Like she alludes that she does. I just don't think she does. I mean, she didn't even know about it. What took her a week to figure out that, hey, people were telling her the truth. There is a reward fund. And then she makes a quick TikTok video about what she brings to YouTube. I don't understand that either. Pushing that TikTok down everybody's throats. It's not going to work. Satire. She needs to stop the satire with real life cases. Yeah. Yes. The sad thing is Betty, you really could help. You really could. But not this way. Not the way it's being done. But you really could. And you could really grow your channel. I don't understand why you don't take the opportunity. I mean, I don't know. I've got kids and stuff. I can't go traipsing all over the place. You have opportunity. You just don't take it. You turn it into a circus. And that's not what any victim or victim's family needs. They need a real advocate that's really going to advocate for them, work for them, not bring the drama and keep things stirred up for views. I don't know. I don't know. She never really used BHP flyers. As soon as BHP was gone, Jen was making posts with other flyers. Yeah, she was. I just wonder how much contact they really had, and if while they were down there, I wonder if it was Olivia who initiated the contact. Only because that's usually what Betty does, is they use Olivia. I mean, look at how they manipulated, one of the Idaho 4 victims' families. Oh, well, she follows me on TikTok. We're friends. I just loved her. You never even spoke to her. She followed a lot of people on TikTok, but you played that family. And then Betty inserted herself into that interview. But you played that family, Olivia, and you know it. And then for Olivia to stand there during the Summer Wells stuff and say it was peaceful protesting. What was peaceful about at that man's job or at that gate on Benny Hill Road? What was peaceful? See, everyone gives Olivia a pass. I don't. She's sneaky, conniving, and thinks that her little cuteness will get her past everything. She needs to worry about her alien abduction videos. Because that I don't get either. Her paranormal and alien crap with a splash of true crime. What? And people take her seriously? No. There's something not right there. Olivia is a snake. Oh, yeah, very much so. I've called all oil out from day one. She's just like that LB. I'm so naive. I'm so good. I would never. What the hell is that? And why is it coming up on my screen? What the hell is this? I don't want that up. Okay. I don't know what that was, but I got rid of it. Yeah. They pull that. I am so naive and I'm so good. I would never. All the while they're digging them knives in your back. Yeah. Nope. I see them kind of people a mile away. Monkey's Law is active. It is? That's great. Oh, yeah, that made me sick there too. Yeah, they did that. Yeah, they did. Cash Gurnan's family's in chat. Yeah, that was sickening. But I wonder if this Zoom, I don't know if ROs or protection orders, whatever, if they allow the public to watch those. I don't know if they do that. But that's the hearing that's coming up. And then there's another one shortly after that, within like a week or two. I mean, she's not going to get it. It's obvious. And she knows. Betty knows. Betty knows she don't stand a chance in hell. This backfired on Betty. Betty never thought it was going to go this far. I don't know. And I know everybody's pissed off at Uni. And with reason. With good reason. I'm right with you. However, I don't want to see JLR win. I really don't. And I wish the communities could get together, and not for Uni, even though that's who it would help. But what it would do for the YouTube communities if JLR wins is going to be worse than if everybody just said, okay, look, we're not helping because we like you or we're over what you did. We're only helping because we don't want him to win. and make it unbearable for creators. Because if he wins, do you know how bad it's going to get with him? I mean, he'll be filing lawsuits as soon as you mention his name. I just wish, I don't know how to make it happen though, because of what Uni has done, and he's not going to own it. I mean, that's obvious. And I'm sick of, these freaking idiots like EKC and Steve and all that. Oh, well, he lost his attorney. Well, you know what, Steve? He didn't scam a $5,000 fund, knowing damn well that he had no lawsuit and wasn't paying for nothing. He tried to pay for it on his own. Not sticking up for Uni, but I can't stand them people. Because they've done worse. They've done worse. And honestly, I just don't want to see JLR win. I really, truly don't. Oh, good. I emailed you the video of that sticky flyer Jennifer is putting on her car. It looks so much better than the flyer Betty designed. Oh, well, thank you, Bash. And I'll share it everywhere, too. She should be advocating for the family to come together and work together instead of what she's doing. And I know that, okay. Anyway, I don't know if anybody sees it the same way I do about this JLR crap. Because, come on, let's be honest. It was a frivolous lawsuit, too. And we all know why JLR did it. For exactly what he's getting out of it right now. I don't know. I just don't want to see him win. Damn it, why does it have to be Uni? Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Anyway. It'll just make it really, it just won't be a good thing if he does. And Lord, we all know Uni's never going to admit that he cannot represent himself. We all know that. We were supposed to get some heavy rain, and it barely sprinkled for like 2 minutes. Typical Central Florida weather. It got all dark, got all the hoopla, but that was about it. My poor dog. He's storm phobic, and 2 hours before it's going to rain, he lets me know, but he gets confused in this Florida weather. I mean, we'll get all the thunder and lightning and be pitch black out, but we won't get a dewdrop of rain. But it still makes him go nuts. Today we got a whole 2 seconds. Of course, I was taking birdseed out and it started to sprinkle. They put in an order last year and signed into law last year. Oh. We watch all the laws to see where we can help, where it is needed for other families. That's amazing. That's fantastic. That's what I mean. Betty could be doing so much. I mean, she does know her way around the little local county government, which is a start. You get some local politicians on board with some of what you're doing, and it can go from there. She could be doing so much. But I can't tell her to change. I'm no one to tell her to change her ways. That's on her. It's her channel, whatever she wants to do. Keep giving me content to review. That's all. I mean, I don't make nothing up, Betty. I use your own words. I don't have time to make nothing up. I'm not good at making stuff up anyway. You'd see right through it. And that's okay. I never was much of a false teller. Just not my thing. So my little 5-year-old today tells me that he no longer has to listen to me because he's grown up. And that's okay. Yeah, he was talking to me like sitting down having a serious conversation with me. Just turned around, looked at me, and said, I don't have to listen to you no more because I'm all grown up. Yep. I said, you've been watching Betty? No, I didn't. I wouldn't let him watch Betty. I'm from Florida, Central Florida. Couple hours from Bullhorn. You may be okay. He has internet skills. Oh. Yeah. Like I said, if it be anybody else, why does it have to be fucking uni? I don't know. Like I said, I just don't want to see the person win. To me, it's not even about uni. It's about him not winning. And honestly, if I had the money, I'd help him because he can't do it himself. You need a lawyer. Come on. Come on. You need a lawyer. I mean, I don't understand why it wasn't filed to be thrown out in the first place after reading Taylor's lawsuit. But yeah, probably because the lawyer didn't get enough money. I mean, it is thousands of dollars. I get it. And nobody's going to work for free, unfortunately. But, I can't change. I don't know. I can't make nothing happen for him, so. She knows her way in, but after that, she's all wind. Yeah, I see. I've watched some of her videos, her town meetings she goes to. And the big thing they were talking about was these toilets. So it was Betty's 3 minutes at the podium. And she goes up. She makes it clear she don't want to talk about no damn toilets. She wanted to talk about why the county wasn't paying for her roof. I was like, oh, I couldn't believe it. I was like, but the other night, Cash, I was reviewing her, and she was saying about how she has these private meetings with the councilman in her county, in her town, and how the councilman was telling her all this pertinent private information, that the cartel is entwined in the county, is very present in the county, and all this stuff, right? And she was saying because somebody supposedly told her that where she was on Palmetto, it's a dumping ground for, remains, but it's not. So she proceeds to keep talking about how the cartel's involved in all this stuff, and then she starts talking about crimes in other counties, which was was some young kids in a burglary ring, but she tied that to the cartel too. And she got all this information from a councilman in private meetings. So I would love to go to the next town hall meeting. And I don't want my 3 minutes. I just want to ask one question. I want to ask which councilman told the bullhorn that the cartel is entwined in that county and involved in all this stuff. Okay, crazy nurse, let me check it. Yeah, I want to know. I really, really want to know. I want to know what their answer would be. But that would be the question. I wouldn't go near Betty. I mean, I could care less about Betty. I just want to see the people's faces. Okay. Where did it go? And why isn't it there? Oh, okay. You sent it to the Proton one. Okay. Let me start into the Proton one. I thought I had it connected. But yeah, I would love to do that. Probably wouldn't get no answer, but bet you people would chuckle because they know who she is. They know what she's about. I like to watch their faces when when she's walking up to the podium. Yeah, they are not Bullhorn fans, that's for sure. I still can't find anybody's heard of her. Why is this taking forever to load? I wanted at least one or two person to at least say they know her. I mean, I feel bad putting 100 people on screen and not one person's ever heard of her. I'm going to have to go closer to her town. Okay. Yeah, I can. I'm going to get closer to her town, so hopefully. I can't be responsible for what they say. But I'm sure I'm going to hear some shit. Because nobody around here knows who she is. And I probably wouldn't admit that I know her either. Like I said, it's sad because she really could do something. Because, she does have people that follow her. I don't believe she has as many active subs as she would like to think. But, okay. Okay, now my phone don't even want to work. Yeah, I don't like my phone either. I need a new one. My kid dropped it, and it's actually literally being held together by the case. If my phone falls, it comes apart, and I have no phone. The case is holding it together. I'm not kidding. And the screen's all cracked. The thing's old, and he didn't mean to drop it. He's just a baby. He's only 5. He didn't mean. Yeah, to pay for her roof. But sometimes my phone won't even type. Okay, done, crazy nurse. And Bash, I'm gonna share that flyer everywhere too. That would be nice that would be great if she's found. I hate to have anybody missing. Been there, done that, experienced it. I'm just thankful she's getting help from law enforcement because we didn't get any. In that little town, they didn't care. And it's in Pennsylvania. They didn't care. In fact, I had asked the officer when I spoke to him on the phone, did you check the garage around the corner where that, the young kids in that area, well, he was a kid to me because he was 23, but in that area, that's they would get into that garage and what they would do in there. But yeah. And had they checked, they would have found him sooner than a year later. And I was 1,000 miles away. All I could do was talk on the phone, which took me 4 days to get him to even call me. Right, but military lawyers don't get involved with civil stuff unless it's military. Yeah, I knew that was bullshit. I couldn't even believe he was saying that shit. Like I said, I don't even know how to begin to even. I know people are probably going to say, "Oh, but she's for uni." No, I'm not. What he did was fucked up. Sorry, but it was. I didn't like anybody questioning his military. That's messed up to do. But I don't want JLR to win. That's just it. It's not even, for me, it's not about him. It's not about uni. It's about the person who filed it and what the outcome could be. That's all. I don't even think him going on here and admitting that what he did would matter at this point. I think it's just way too late for that. And, he's not just triple down, he's quadruple down. So, I don't know. Like I said, to me, it's not even about uni. It's about the other person. Yeah, I knew that was bullshit. I don't even know why he said that shit. I mean, that's just common sense. Like I said, he shot himself in the foot, or so to speak. He wouldn't listen to nobody, and he's still not. Yeah, but he was meaning at the VA itself when he said that. But and he can go to legal aid and get some help. I mean, they will make sure that he can at least, it's not going to be the help he needs because, they do pro bono, so they're overloaded, of course, with cases. But they will advise him. And that's a scary thought. But then again, it's just JLR. JLR is not going to get a lawyer. So hopefully I hope he follows through with that he really does. And he does go get the pro bono legal advice because that could mean the difference in him getting it dismissed or, or him winning. Because we all know JLR is not going to bother to do that. He thinks he can, JLR does, he did this for exactly what he's getting out of it. And he has gone after all Uni's family. Come on, let's be honest. It's like, because of what Uni's done, no one's calling him out, JLR out, for what he's done. And that's messed up. But I hope he does get the legal advice that he says he can get. And I know he can get. I really hope he follows through with that. Because it might be the difference in him. It just might be the big difference here. And I'm sorry, but Uni's family have nothing to do with it. And JLR knows it. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Oh, actually, the internet can be utilized as space force, all space, and maybe be active as in using a military lawyer if brought correctly. Oh. I just hope he does get some kind of help. Like I said, because I just don't want to see JLR win. And I'm sure someone will tell him, I don't care. I don't even know. Does he even still go live on YouTube? I don't even know. I listened to the Twitter space only because I wanted to hear what he was going to say about his lawyer. And it didn't take long to figure out nothing's changed. But anyway, yeah. But Molly, by the way, not scared of you. And I will edit my thumbnail and put your face on the other clown. I didn't realize till after I went live that I never put your face on the other clown. But I'll fix that. And now Dolly is on site. He got there? Oh my gosh. What is wrong with people? What is wrong with people? What is so fascinating about sitting there looking at the same scene for hours and hours and hours and hours? They're not telling you anything. They're not going to know anything to tell you. And Dolly, what are you going to do down there? Is he live? Is he streaming it live? Let me check. He would do that on his Dolly Vision, probably. I don't believe it. And isn't like Granny's watching down there streaming it or something too? Oh my God. Chester County live manhunt. Oh my God. Change of plans live with Dolly. Oh my God. I got to check it out. He likes to strike though. Oh my God. I'm going to have to go over this with you guys tomorrow. It's too late. If I start this now, we'll never get off here. Oh, yeah. I'm going to come live tomorrow. We're going to review Dolly. It's too late now. Shit. Yeah. We'll review Dolly tomorrow. That's funny. He's showing his packs and stuff. He's no more certified and trained than Betty. Neither one of them should be, or or none of them. But and everyone's like, oh well, at least there's not going, doing some messed up shit. Give him a minute. He'll be doxing the family members of this dude and their whole history and everything else. And even when he gets it wrong, he won't say it's right. Yeah, definitely Dolly tomorrow. I'm definitely gonna. In fact, I'm gonna download this tonight because I know how they like the private stuff, and we are definitely gonna go over that tomorrow. But guys, I've been live long enough. I thank you so much for hanging out with me. Do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe, and I will definitely be back tomorrow with the Dolly content. See you then, guys. Have a good night.